Falcons are partially amphibious, so I can breathe underwater for up to an hour, not including like my Constitution modifier on top of that.
So you're a frog. You're a frog man.
Yeah.
I can just say right now that the four of you have emerged, and you remember where we left off because it was a while back.
Yeah.
We've emerged from that cave. We're going to clip forward about 2 hours. You guys are in a field, walking away. You're a little bit tired from the ordeal you just went through. You don't know this, but you just defeated some serious monsters.
Heck
Yes,
yeah.
because some certain individuals wanted to be curious.
Yeah, and with the help of Gagari, because he, this wasn't said, but Gagari the Gnome, he joined in, because he's a rock gnome, so he's native to the area.
Yeah.
He joined in and kicked some ass. I mean, but I don't know.
It was probably with Gagari's
You
help.
traveled a long way from Waterton.
Probably with Gagari's help that you located the treasure that you located. I'll give you a list of the things that you did find off game, and that you're going to begin this little quest with, and we'll even talk about what you guys decided to do, because you had a quest, but something shifted when you were in that cave. But before we dig into that, go around and spend some time not only introducing who you are and what you're all about, but also the character that you brought to life to play with this game. And I'm going to go grab water, a regular, and could I get either of you something to drink?
I'm good, thank you.
That's crazy. How are you're going to get perched? All right, I'll be right back.
All right.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
No, by all
Okay.
means. Ladies
I'll go
first.
first.
Wait, let's see. Okay. So my name's Kayla. My character's name is Ava, and she is a elf. I forget what kind of elf. Eldrin.
Wow.
Elf. Well, it's been a month since I played her. Okay.
Eldrin?
She is a wizard. And I have a canon design for her now. Hold on. Hold on. Shout out. Okay, so this character is based off of my best friend back home. I know she's watching right now. Oh, hi. And she's like, I asked if she would draw her, and then she was like, what does she look like? And I was like, I guess like you. So I made her draw herself.
You know what? And thanks to Ashley, we are an internationally viewed podcast.
Yeah, she's watching all the way from
stream.
Japan.
Yeah.
Where in Japan?
We went over this,
She might be
Carlos.
too-
Oh, yeah, I
She
guess.
lives in
Okinawa?
Kyoto.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Kyoto. Oh, the old capital.
Heck
I've
yeah.
been there. That joint is awesome.
I was born in Okinawa.
Now here is
Represent.
awesome. Like I said. Awesome. Okay. I'm done.
Okay, so this is like, I don't know how well you can see it on stream or whatever, but this is what she looks like. In a
Nice.
way.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, she just said Kyoto.
Kyoto.
But this isn't about her. It's about us.
And
Most
our
especially
it's about
Gagari the
me.
Gnome.
Yeah.
So I'm Carlos. My character is Gagari the Gnome. He's a
I know, I love it so much.
I can't with you.
he's a gnome bard. More specifically, a rock gnome bard. More specifically, a hard rock gnome bard because he goes hard on that loot.
Yeah.
I think that's about it. Gagari the Gnome's part of a band called Go Hard to Go Gnome. And yeah, he's ready to do some stuff.
Yeah, he is. He's ready
Yeah.
to do some stuff. Alright, I'm Cam. I'm back as well. I'm playing a Vilbalkin, also from the MTG universe. He's a druid, Circle of the Spores. He's very dark, very little emotion. Tries to do as much of a perfectionist's job on everything. Very curious, always wants to know as much as possible about as many things as possible. Very into the dead. He has darker blue skin with a very flat face, flat like facial features. Doesn't seem to look like he has a nose from afar, but once you get closer, he has a very, very subtle nose. Everything else is kind of like very tattered clothing, not necessarily homeless, but enough to look very worn. he has wraps all over his hands and his feet with very light sandals, very dark earth tones with some maroons and dark browns and greens, very messy. And from anybody who knows the MTG universe, Magic the Gathering, he's from the Golgari clan. So yeah, he does a lot of he deals with a lot of dead things and has a very like macabre interest.
That was very descriptive. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
And I have to follow that.
I'm a blue dragon.
Hey, look, I'm repping my colors.
Yeah.
All right, my name is Lamar Dyer, and I play Shamash Torin. He's from the Yardric clan, the same clan as Arjan and Balazar. If you know this, if y'all if y'all watched the Campfire stream, y'all know who I'm talking about. And he's a male cleric, and he follows Bahamut is his deity that he worships. And he's always about just trying to, he believes in family and believes about clan above all others. And if you're not a warrior, he has really no respect for you. Or if you don't help people, he has no respect for you. So and he's ready to go. Ready to start his mission, ready to start this quest. Let's get it.
Ready to
do
stuff.
Let's do it.
Let's do stuff.
Yes.
Oh, yo.
Let's go.
My name's Kevin, by the way. I forgot to mention my name.
Yeah.
Yeah, after
with
that
a K.
description, how did you
Oh, yeah, my name.
my name. Let's
All right.
All right.
Let's do this.
Let's do that again. What's your character's name?
Ava.
Ava, you've been... what's one of the things that you've done in the last 2 adventuring days? Something that you've accomplished.
We made it to the city of News, right?
Yeah, absolutely you did.
Yeah.
What's your last name?
Samric.
Of the Samric clan?
Of the Samric clan, yes.
Gary? No.
Good Gary.
Good game.
Good Gary.
Good Gary the Gnome.
He's gonna kill me with this. The good gnome. Gary the gnome. I'm gonna say it properly.
No.
No, that's
The opposite
improper.
proper.
Gary the gnome is the proper way to say it.
When I was growing up, on my children's television, we had Gary Gnome, and he would give us the GNews.
When I grew up, it was David the gnome. Okay.
David
the gnome. Yes.
the gnome.
No.
Not the same. It doesn't have the same effect,
No, it doesn't.
And Kevin, what's the last name?
He doesn't have a last name.
He's like Cher.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's an enigma.
To say the least.
And could you spell your name for me again so I don't have to switch to D&D Beyond back and forth and
All
back and
right. Samash. That is
forth? I remember.
last name Torin.
You're what Hulk says. Samash!
Shamash.
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 Ready to smash.
What you need?
Better than the gnome.
No. Let's not go that far.
I love it when the adventuring parties are as diverse as you guys. It's not just your different backgrounds, but your sizes. Because when you're silhouetted walking into a sunset, you've got everything represented. You've got small, you've got over large, you've got medium hulking, you've got it all. And if your dragonborn friend is angry, he'll light the place up with his lightning teeth.
Yes.
You got it all. You've got what it takes to be
cross the dragonborn.
a terrifying group that nobody wants to mess with.
I went from being a 6-foot Asumerian to being a 3-foot gnome, so this is a big change for me.
That's
Yes.
small change.
Ah, get it? Because
gnomes are
you're a gnome.
small.
All I
That was good.
all I can know about your character is
Grant, don't give me that look.
Nomeo
Don't-
from Nomeo
don't-
and Juliet.
don't give us that look.
It's the only thing I'm thinking of.
Wow, that's a good one. There's a whole spin-off there. Huh?
Yeah. Haven't seen Sherlock Gnome though.
Bless
I'm really
you.
behind on the
That's
franchise.
a thing?
Yes, that's a thing.
Oh my god, I need it.
I was a film major for outside.
Oh yeah, you were for like the
Yeah.
months that it didn't count. Great silence.
Well, you guys are on an adventure, and the whole point is to make that dough. You're trying to raise
Yeah, we
money, not for anybody else other than yourselves.
Then the children.
And, well, yeah. If there's any chance that on this adventure you decide that you want to make money in some other way, you know, you're not contracted, but you did go to the City of Noobs, you did locate a job, and you did decide that this was going to be the job that you took on. And would you remind us all of what that job is you've decided to take on?
It's like the Bears?
Yes,
We
we were
Bears?
Yes, we were going to the Bears until some people decided they want to go into a frowning cave.
And
Yeah.
That wasn't me. I was
I-
very against that.
I was very interested to see.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
I was,
of course.
Well,
you were.
Of course.
Well,
Gosh, but
the ASMR was.
Guess what? You guys found an amazing rock gnome in this cave.
Yeah,
so
dude. Like,
Why are you
look at this
complaining?
amazing guy.
Because that took time from what we were trying to do. We have three other missions to do.
Well, we're
Three.
glad you're here now.
I really appreciate it.
Thank
We
you.
value your teamwork and effort.
Yeah, okay.
What you accomplished in that cave that we didn't play through, but I'm acknowledging now, is that you guys found a treasure trove of money. You found coin.
Heck
And
yeah.
that coin that you found, and we'll go into the amounts, you guys divided equally amongst yourselves. And the interesting thing about these coins is they are old. Now, for as long as beings have walked this world, they've dealt in copper pieces and silver pieces and gold pieces and platinum pieces. There's no electrium in this world because nobody wants to do that math.
Yeah.
It's
that's a
just
lot of math.
ridiculous. Yeah. So the 4 primary coin pieces have been around for a long time, and their denominations have remained pretty consistent, but the way they're minted has changed. And the coins that you found had been minted so long ago that you were at first confused by what you were looking at. The shapes were different. The insignias that were etched or raised on the coinage was different. But you know, it didn't take long to realize, no, these are just coins. This is still just, I could turn this into whatever I want because it's money. I would like to just make sure we all remember the level that you were before this coinage is handed out. You guys were excited to locate silver.
Heck yeah.
You were not at a place where you're rubbing 2 gold pieces together necessarily. Or that was the case before the cave. You each walked away with, it's a little heavy, but there are 38 copper pieces each.
Okay.
24 silver.
You said 38.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
How many silver?
24 silver.
I'm going to do
Well, I think
some.
that's one
Thanks for the pity laugh, Grant.
You mean Wonderland? I think that's what they have in this place. Wonderland.
It's the magical empire.
Yes, the magical empire, yes.
Heard of Wonderland. I don't want to go.
It's 11 entire gold pieces, y'all. 11.
Whoa.
Wait, but I just say I have like 6 gold pieces before that? Is that
Yeah,
right?
because you got incredibly lucky with one of your rolls.
did.
Yeah, so this
Only
might
got
not be as
sneaky.
exciting for you.
It's just another day at the office.
Just drop it in with the rest of your bread.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
And the surprise for all of you was that you also walk away with 2 platinum pieces. And these platinum pieces are an odd trapezoid shape. And instead of there being a face like you get on almost every other minted coin in this world, you get the shape of a building. And the building itself is trapezoid shaped. So the coin seems to represent the shape of the building. Nothing that any of you recognize or would recognize, but your coin purses are now just a little bit heavier.
How many platinum pieces did you
2. You can now rub 2 platinum pieces together for the first time in your lives.
Yes.
if I was to
myself a brand new loot.
If I was to paint a picture of where you were, you guys remember that you were right up against a giant mountain range that reaches up into the sky. If you were to take a minute to look up, you had done this several times already, but if you took another moment, you would see that the tops of those mountains are blanketed in cloud. That's how tall the mountains are. You're at the base of these mountains, and generally mountains don't race down to a nice flat ground and end there. That's how 5-year-olds draw them when they're making pictures, but that's not how geology generally works. But where you are, that is what's happening. These mountains seem to have risen directly out of the ground, and you guys are on a flat plain that has... You traveled this flat plain quite a bit, and the city of Noobs that you visited was down at the base of this mountain, and you followed the base of the mountain around. This is when you got involved in these rock monsters that you dealt with. You hadn't actually quite identified what they were, but they were a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
You have made it away from that. You're back into this grassy plain, but you're also now seeing the river that you've been looking for. This river is the one that you were supposed to follow, that eventually takes you to the village that had been complaining about, not necessarily bear attacks, but that's the best that the villagers could describe these things as. So, if you were to be following the river, you'd be headed in the direction that you'd originally planned on going. And I'm guessing that's what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. It's not going to affect anything right now, but it might in the near future. How are you walking? Side by side, like Wizard of Oz style, or single file, like...
All I know is Gagari is leading the charge.
Okay.
I'd probably be right behind it.
You can see
Stop.
above me.
No,
I'm following right behind him.
no, I
No, I am.
Does it really matter? Just
Are
get
you
it
like a
right.
triangle formation?
Really?
no. Alright.
This is gonna be
No.
long.
Alright. Well, then it sounds like we're just all Wizard of Oz style, walking at the same pace.
If we're doing that, then Kevin will start to like slowly slow down and start to get to the back.
It sounds like you guys are walking like one of those annoying families in the mall that can't quite decide whether to
Yeah, exactly.
come together, and
Yeah.
they're not oblivious to everybody else around them. Luckily, you're not affecting anybody. There's nobody trying to get around you. You're just kind of getting in each other's way from time to time as you reorganize in an amorphous blob.
Hey,
or
watch!
straight
Hey,
line.
watch out! I'm coming.
You
Yeah,
just step
stay
over
away.
me, so
Ooh, watch
I
out,
mean,
he
that's
is
a problem.
coming.
Oh my god, you should sit on his shoulder.
I should.
Get a
You
little-
could do that.
Get a free ride.
Come on.
Fine.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
And I should get like plus something to perception because like I can see so much higher now.
You'll get plus
See,
7 feet
now.
to
I'm on
perception.
a no, you're not a paladin.
I'm a cleric.
Cleric.
I tell you what I would do in a situation like that is I would have you guys both roll, and you could take the highest. It would be a helping situation since he's helped you up. And this might even be a good time to do it. Let's roll for
Alright.
perception. You giant, tall twosome.
I'm just looking at that things.
9.
13.
Modifiers included there?
Oh,
Yeah.
What you got?
12.
I don't have perception. So,
That's good.
uh-huh.
0.
Yeah, I'm a gnome. What do you expect?
Well, as 10 being the human average, and you are taking your highest roll slightly better than the human average, it makes sense. You've got a lot of height on you. What you see in the distance is a river that meanders gently back and forth, but follows a pretty consistent straight course. And in the distance, closer than you expected, you see a village, probably a cluster of 10 homes, huts, 4 bridges into the water, and a few, what are these, like canoes or skiffs that are tied up? It's hard to tell from a distance, but clearly a river-dwelling village and the people that make their living on the river. And you're about a quarter mile away. You'll be there in about a good 10-minute walk at your leisurely pace right now.
Okay, so when we get to the village, let's look for Bertha, because that's who Olivia said saw the bears. Thank God for notes. That was a month
For
ago.
real. I mean, I have an excuse because I wasn't there for that. So
Yeah.
I
Well,
wasn't
it sounds
either.
like a plan. I agree with that.
Cool.
Since we're the
cool,
only
cool.
ones from the thing that was there, so yes, I agree with you.
No doubt, no doubt.
Who's gonna talk to the people though?
I think I'm a little intimidating.
I'll talk.
Alright. I'm not
I'm
doing it.
just a friendly girl. Okay, we get it, antisocial. Okay.
Funny.
I'm a friendly
I know
man.
I am.
But
can
you know
play
what?
some
I'll
music,
take some of this
serenade them.
gold and deliver it to some of the people. I know they're going through hard times. I'll definitely go donate something, and also donate, to. I'm also donating.
You have fun with that.
To the, I heard there was like an Arnold Palmer hospital for children or something.
Yes.
That's
was it
what
all?
donating.
Yes, that's what we're
That's what I've
donating
heard.
to. So I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna donate, or at least I am. From Bahamut would like that.
So
Nice
would
people
Arnold
shit.
Palmer. Let's just say that it doesn't take you guys long after having your conversation about what your intentions are to arrive at the village. It's a well-worn path, and like a lot of the paths that are close to a riverbank, it's got a lot of mud and puddles. You slosh through and step through. We've reached a mid-afternoon point here. You guys have had a long morning and a pretty interesting afternoon. You've reached the later part of the afternoon now, and I wouldn't say the sun is setting, but it will be in a couple hours.
Sign it in.
Maybe like
Yes, we should.
Yeah.
I don't want to sleep outside. That's all.
Okay. You said you don't want to?
No.
But that seems like your thing, though.
Yeah, it usually is. But, we're in a new
You scared of
city.
bears?
No.
You scared of bears, my dude?
No, I've seen dead bears before.
I'm 3 feet tall and I'm not
Okay,
even afraid
weird
of bears.
flex, but okay. Alright, so is there like a villager nearby we can ask about an inn?
You'll see, as you walk in, you'll see three, it's hard to tell if everybody's inside working, but there are three individuals that are closest to you when you walk into the village and you start to see people. One of them looks a lot like your gnome friend, about the same height, maybe not as well armored. But we do also have two humans, and the three of them are sitting together on a porch of one of these huts, and they're having a conversation. And now that you're close enough and you're taking a look at these huts, you can tell that they're made of a wood that's not from around here, because this grassland doesn't have the kind of trees that would normally be used to make these kind of huts. Instead, it looks like they're made from the driftwood and the dead logs and wood that floats down the river. So anytime the river floods and picks up an old tree and it washes it down, it looks like these villagers make it their mission to grab that wood and then obviously repurpose it for these homes.
That's an ingenuity.
Necessity is the mother of invention. And it's hard to make your homes out of grass, or at least to have them last any amount of time. So who knows how long this community has been here collecting this wood and making these homes. The two humans that are on the porch look ancient. Both of them are men, and both of them are covered in white hair on their heads and on their faces. And if you could see their hands and feet, it'd be there too. You'd see it.
So they look like Cousin Ed.
A lot like that. Yep.
I'm gonna go up to the gnome.
Yep.
I'll go up to the gnome with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Well, how
no.
can you do that when you're on my shoulder?
Have fun. Be
Wow.
safe.
I jump
Dismount.
off. I mean, I don't really stick the landing, but I jump off.
Are you okay?
I'm good.
Roll for acrobatics.
Ah, dang
It's not terrible.
it. Oh, yeah. 14.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Yeah, I stuck the landing. A superhero landing, may I say.
Well, you're all pretty surprised when the humans and the gnome pull out a card and you got 2 9s and an 8.
Heck yeah.
Who knows why they're holding those cards, but you approach the gnome?
Yeah, I'm gonna go up and be like, hail and well met, my friend.
You give him a fist bump.
Oh, he gives you, it's a gnomish fist bump. He gnomish fist bumps you. And then to you replies, hail and well met.
Do you know where we could find an inn or anywhere to stay? In here?
Oh, in our little village, we don't really have people that want to day, but yeah, there's a place where you can rent a bed. I wouldn't call it an inn or anything like that, but 2 doors down, nice old lady. She has 2 extra rooms since some tragedy befell her family, but she rents those rooms out now, and that's where anybody that's going to stay here would try to rent a room.
What's her name?
Oh, it's Bethany.
Bethany.
Yeah.
Well, it was a pleasure meeting you. What is your name, by the way?
My name's... Just a second.
Is he name generator?
And the name generator.
It's unfortunately, it's one of those slow name generators that's in my head. I've run out of good G names. Let's see. It's Gaston.
Good Gaston, I love it. So you're a good gnome, not just a gnome, as the others.
Absolutely. What's your name?
I'm Gagari, the gnome.
Oh, he double fist bumps you.
Yeah.
Double gnomish
It's
fist
a
bump.
gnomish fist bump.
Absolutely.
Do like a weird, gnome like handshake. Like
Yeah.
every gnome knows it.
Very complex. It just happened. You guys are confused. It was beautiful.
Well, the Grim group that played here for the second block, they also have a gnome, and their gnome has a special gnome hug that he and the other gnomes of this area also
That's a
impart
gnome
on each
thing,
other. Yeah.
not a gnome.
Right. He's a forest gnome. You're a rock gnome. Yeah.
Yeah.
All gnomes are the same.
It's just
I don't think
I can't believe you just said that.
No.
it's 2019.
What did I just wait?
That's
They're the
very.
same.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. We take
Oh,
it
I
I
back.
didn't
thought you
say
said
they were
they're
all
all
the
the
same.
same.
I said they're not the same.
Man, that was
I was
close.
gonna say, like, that hurt.
I just need to take a minute.
Sorry,
Put the
we'll be
string
right
on
back.
hold.
Technical
That's
difficulties.
a two. I mumbled one too many times. Okay.
I
so
heard there was. Excuse me, I don't mean to interrupt, but I heard there was a hospital or something I want to donate to, the families that are going through hard times here.
Well, that's very generous of you, my tall blue friend.
So where can I make this donation at?
Well, our village doesn't really have a hospital or a clinic, and we've been doing really well. But if you go downstream a little further, that's where they've been having some real problems. They've been attacked a few times by some things we can't identify. One of the concerns that we have is that the problems they're having are going to work their way to us. So we've been trying to fortify our village in case we start getting attacked also.
And there's no other reports, nothing of nobody saying anything, but how do you know these things? I'm just curious.
Oh, well, we all work on the river, so we're up and down at the different villages on the river. I'm up there 2 or 3 times in a week.
What do you do on the river?
I fish. I say I fish, but it's a lizard that I make most of my money on, a water lizard.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know what? I could use something to eat. Where's a good inn? Or where's a restaurant? Or
I'm sure.
someplace to eat?
Bethany was her name?
Bethany
Beth-
provides the best food, and I'll be honest. If I've had one of those days on the river where I just can't make myself any food, I go there anyway. And she'll sometimes try to not take my money, and I'll have to sneak it somewhere in her house so she gets it. She's such a nice lady. Yep, always tries to feed everybody.
Alright, I start headed towards Bethany's house.
Same.
We all do.
Me too.
Okay. You walk the couple huts away that you were pointed to, and when you get there, you find a hut that looks like many of the others, made out of that same kind of driftwood. But when you get to the front door and you look at the windows, it seems like nobody's there. All the others seem to have their doors open, allowing the breeze in, and the windows open to allow the breeze in, but this one looks closed up. Not boarded or anything, just closed, which is, I only mention because it's different than all the other buildings.
Okay. I go up and knock on the door.
Do you think that's wise? They might be closed up for a reason.
Nah.
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 It's fine.
Plus, at that point, the knocking had taken place, and there's a pause. And, you know, we've all trick-or-treated before. You know that like, oh my gosh, are they home? Are they home? Are we getting candy? Is it happening? Or maybe you didn't. I'm sorry if your childhood didn't include any trick-or-treating, but for me, there's a lot of nostalgia there.
That was the case.
The reality, though, is that you finally get that auditory reward that you're hoping for, because you start hearing boards creak, and the creak gets closer and closer and closer, and then the door opens, and you're facing a 7-foot-tall ogre. This ogre is covered in the kind of cloth and rags that look like they've been pieced together from several other outfits just to be able to cover this giant creature. And the ogre looks down at you and says, "Yes, dears?"
Are you Bethany?
"Yes?"
It's so nice to meet you. My name's Ava. We got your name through. Good.
Good Gaston?
Good Gaston.
Good Gaston.
I just learned his name recently. It's a challenging one, but yes, he's
Yes. And we were hoping you could, we could pay you to stay here for the night.
You've come for my rooms to rent.
Yes.
Well, they're open. Did you want both, or did you all want to rent a single room?
I need my own.
Well, there's both, so there's gonna be sharing involved.
It's not cheap.
How much is
It's
it?
5 silver per room. So if you need to share a room to pool your resources, I understand.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
I can do
Okay.
Gary can literally sleep anywhere.
I'll sleep outside.
There's really not
You
I thought
just said
you
you didn't
didn't
want to
want
sleep
to,
outside.
Well, I thought I could get my own room, but I guess not. Sorry.
Snobs. Okay. Yeah,
we don't
sure.
Hey, look, we don't consider ourselves snobs. We just like our privacy.
It's different.
Mm.
But,
Have fun with the bears.
yeah, but,
Gnomes are very communal creatures, so I mean, we don't really care.
yeah, well, something
I hand her a gold piece. For both. That should cover both, right?
Oh my!
Excuse me, do you realize there's a nomination?
What?
You realize you gave her a gold piece. That's almost like giving her $100 bill.
Well, if the currency is correct, it should be. Oh, wait. Yeah, I'm right.
This should cover the 2 rooms.
Yeah,
Is it?
I'm right.
You want both rooms then? You're not going to share one?
No, we're good.
Because I can't give change for this, but I could charge you the 10 silver, which is this 1 gold for both rooms. Are you getting both rooms or one?
Both?
They're getting both.
Wow.
Yeah, so he can have his own and...
I'm not used to such big spenders as all. And she takes the gold piece and tucks it in what you assume to be a pocket, but the rags that she's wearing make it hard to tell exactly where the pockets are. And everything
I
else.
heard you had the best food in the house, and I am famished.
Oh, and your room includes food. I'm so excited to cook for people. Dinner's about an hour and a half away. Are there any dietary restrictions I should know about?
I can eat anything.
I try not to eat meat.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Got a bit of a dairy allergy, but I kind of just ignore it, you know?
Oh, that's not healthy. You should listen to your body.
But cheese.
Well, tonight's dinner is covered in it. Okay, so we'll ignore your allergy, and I'll make you a side dish without as much meat. Less meat.
Less meat.
Okay, great. Well, did you want to use your rooms now, or? I mean, I could.
Yes.
Let me show you where they are. Come in. And she invites you in. It's what an odd, eclectic set of decorations and furniture. It's really nothing like what you've seen before. This will be rather obscure, so I probably shouldn't do it. But
Do it.
Stephen King's The Stand has an amazing mini-series, and in it, Tom Cullen, when he finally makes it to Boulder, gets to decorate his house with whatever he wants from all of the surrounding areas, and he's got this inner child that's also this eclectic artist, and he brings mannequins and pink flamingos and bicycles and moving architecture, just all the crazy things in the world, and he makes his house out of this. This orc has a very similar decorative mentality. Every weird little bauble and shape and color and basically everything that they can she could find, she has filled this home with. And so when you walk in, it almost seems like a curio shop.
I love this woman.
She walks you right
She's
through
great.
she's awesome. She walks you right through the main area where you can see a dining room table that's set up, and you can see a cabinet that's filled with the plates and things that you'll be eating on. Walks you past that and points to 2 doors. And she says, "These are the 2 rooms. They're exactly the same. Well, you know, and you can help yourselves. There's no keys or anything. It's just she's pointed you to the 2 rooms. How are you? Are you dropping stuff off? What would you like to do?
I am gonna drop. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna drop all my traveler's pack. I'm gonna keep my axe with me, and I'm gonna go in there and pray for a little bit.
Okay.
Gotta pray for these children, and to pray that I actually do something good.
People donate.
Yeah.
What I'll do is I'll compliment her interior design, and I'll just sit down and play a tune on the lute.
I don't think I want to drop anything off, but I am gonna go up to her and ask what her favorite object in her house is.
That's hard to pick. There are so many.
I'm sure there are, yeah.
There's a piece of furniture that I'm really pleased with, and she walks you over to the corner, and you see this cube, and it has 2 doors, one on the top and one on the bottom. And on the bottom, she opens the door, and it has a bottom, but there's a big hole in it. So if you were to set something in there, if it was small enough, it would fall through that hole. And she explains that in the old days, when the ice would melt, it would come down from the river, or from the mountain, and float down the river. And they would go out and snag chunks of it, and they would stick it in that bottom section. And then the cold would keep the entire cube cold, and they would put food and things in the other cube. And it was like a way to keep food from spoiling. So it's not something that a lot of people had access to, because not everybody has ice floating by their house all the time. But she says and explains that her grandmother was able to keep meat from spoiling for up to 4 days
That's
with this device.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's such a cool thing you have.
On top of it, it's covered with small little figurines. Some of them look like they might be religious in nature. Some of them look like children's toys, but all of them are about 3 to 6 inches in height, and all are representing figures of beings.
That's really cool. Thanks for showing me that.
Oh, happy to.
While she's doing that, can I jerk-craft and see what the weather's going to be like?
Sure.
Just pull up your weather app on.
Hey Google.
You
What is
get
this Google?
yeah right. You get it's a fantasy Google, or I guess we should
For Google.
ask
I
Jeeves.
For Google.
Probably.
Yeah.
For Google.
Get Google.
Bing.
The gnome.
I shouldn't have said Google. I should have said Siri. That's funny, Google.
Or Alexa. Or like,
Yeah.
anything.
Anything but Google. Alright, anyways. Good Google.
You have a pretty good, even a schedule for when this is going to happen. Shortly after the sun sets, there's going to be a hellacious thunderstorm that rolls over the plains. They're going to butt up against the mountains, and so it's going to kind of stall on top of you. And the thunderstorm is going to have a lot of energy that dies out, and it's going to turn into a rain that pitter-patters all the way until just before dawn.
Okay.
When you wake up, it should be clear skies. It should be all stormed out, but that's what tonight's looking like.
Are you sure you want to sleep outside?
Yeah. No. I'll find something.
Are you sure?
Yeah. This time we'll have a seat.
Just share the room with someone.
No.
Why?
Guys.
Why?
No.
Why?
Not doing it. Sorry. Hey, since you're back, we found these coins earlier, and we don't know what they are. What do you?
Well, let's see.
Oh yeah, sorry. And I'll hand her the platinum piece.
Oh, platinum. I can't believe in one day I've held 1 gold and now a platinum.
I think he wants it back.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
So much he's gonna
What an
steal it.
interesting. Well, it looks a little bit like the fortress. It looks a little bit like the fortress.
What's the fortress?
Well, there used to be. This is old. This isn't something that's standing any longer. As a child, I would play on the foundations of this. It was a crumbled ruin, and my parents and my grandparents, everybody in my clan talked about the days when this was a standing structure. I'm not sure that I've ever seen it in picture form, so that's what it looked like.
How old?
Very interesting.
How old is the coin? Do you know?
Well, if this is an accurate picture and it was made when this structure was standing, it could be 800 years old.
That's amazing. Alright.
It's if you follow the mountain, and she points in the direction where you were headed, had you not followed the river, had you kept going, she explains, you would find the ruins, but even now they're so overgrown it'd be hard to locate them, but you could find them if you kept going about another 15 miles in the direction that you were going.
Interesting. Another quick question. Why do you live like this?
Okay, I don't ask you why you look like the way you do and why you live like you do, Mr. I want to sleep outside. Like, come on.
Well, I think he means is you have a very unique home. How did you collect all of these trinkets and baubles and...
Is that the nicer way of saying what I just said?
Dearie, I'm fine. I thought your question was okay. I know that I'm a unique individual and I get complimented, I would say, a lot about my home, and I can tell that some of the compliments might not be sincere, but people usually have a good heart when they're saying them. I come from a big family, and I try to keep something from everybody that's touched me in my heart, and each one of these represents another one of my family members or clan members that I've worked with, and you know, I could just remember them in my heart. I could just think about them. But to have these objects, it gives me something to pick up and have a connection with. And once I started that, my neighbors and friends saw that I had a bunch of things like this in my house, and they continued to gift me with objects like this. So I can remember where each one came from, but it was a long time in building this collection. Or did you mean my clothes?
I mean, if you want to tell me about that too.
I wear the simple clothes of my clan. We promise not to spend on ourselves when we can spend on others.
That's pretty wholesome.
That's a really weird way to live.
Absolutely. I get told that quite a bit.
Good for you.
Okay, again, it's not what you're saying, it's the fact that you're saying it.
Saying what?
It's unique, to say the least.
Sure, it's unique, but I'm just saying, he's over here living like he's, Tarzan or something. I can't think of a better example.
That's pretty good.
Fantasy Tarzan. That you can't come over here and be like, it's weird.
It is.
Different.
I mean,
Well, maybe it's weird from him because maybe he's not used to something like
It's
that.
I don't see why other people would work for other people if you just work for yourself. You know?
To be honest, usually people are more concerned that I'm an orc. The fact that we're having this conversation is rather heartwarming. I like you.
Oh.
Yes, because your voice does not match your demeanor. And that's one thing I will say, because when I heard your voice, I was like, my neck almost broke.
Sometimes my voice even changes while I'm talking. I can't help it. It's part of my who I am.
You're awesome. Bahama bless you.
And you.
I mean, you're pretty okay, I guess.
I've known a few good orcs in my lifetime, like gnomes. They're pretty friendly towards the.
I'm not gonna get over you saying that ever.
I used to have an orc on my band. He was the drummer. It was.
What orcs do you deal with? I slay them all.
Well, why would you say that in front of our orc friend here?
So that's so harsh, but okay.
Because I'm completely honest, and I have to be honest. The fact that she is nice and she's a rare breed, and I am honored to meet somebody that's not part of the status quo of orcs.
You know, it's not nice to talk about a woman like an object.
You just really are.
I was about to say, how did I get in trouble for saying not all gnomes are the same? and then we're sitting here like,
Well, that was just a matter of.
Yo, I killed your people. What are you gonna do about it?
It's my belief that if anybody decides to become a warrior, then they've chosen the warrior's path, and that could mean a warrior's death. And it seems if you've slayed orcs, then you've slayed warriors, and I wouldn't hold that against you.
Thank you.
dinner ready
Also
yet?
true.
No, it's about an hour 10.
This is very
hour 10
awkward
away.
conversation.
Okay.
Would you like to stay here while I cook?
I'm down. I'm down to play some music on my lute. Actually, can I clarify? My lute is half lute, half my hand axe, which is more of like a badass for me
Oh, cool.
because of my size. And it's called the Gnome Record.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
important detail.
Very important
That's
detail.
absolutely crucial.
So, is that okay? Just half lute, half hand axe, just, so I don't have to carry a lute and a...
Yeah, absolutely.
Heck
I
yeah.
wouldn't not want that to be happening. That's happening. I mean, it's called the Gnome Record?
Yep.
Yeah,
the
no.
Gnome Record.
Please. Please, I insist. Absolutely. You sit and play the Gnome Record on the front porch?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Yeah, the front.
You guys, give me a rough idea. You can stay here, you can watch her, you can pray, you can go swim.
I'm going to my room and pray.
Okay. Let's do a... this is just for fun. Do a religion check for your prayer.
Okay.
For your prayer.
Oh, and it's funny, I actually do have religion. Okay, +2.
Well, you are a cleric, so.
Yeah.
Whoa!
A dirty 20.
That's beautiful. During your, I'm going to say 10 minutes that you're focused and reaching out, you pray so regularly that you know when something's a little different. And maybe it's the proximity to the river, maybe it's this particular location, but you connect in a way that you aren't accustomed to. And when you come out of it, you feel blessed, which means that at any point during the rest of today, this particular game, you can re-roll any roll that you don't like. You have to roll it before you find out what the result is. Like, I can't say you miss and then you re-roll. You could just roll and say, I would like to re-roll that.
There you go.
And then you can,
Nice.
so that's how
Thank you.
that's how that'll work.
Okay.
Good pray.
Nice.
What are you going to be doing?
I'm gonna go outside and try and find like a tree that I could probably sleep under. I don't care if I get like super wet, just like a tree to lay by. Once I find it, I'm just gonna sit there and probably just sit and draw a circle in the dirt around me and take some of the dirt inside the circle and start to like rub it on my face and my arms. And then I'm just gonna sit there and meditate as close to the river as I can. I don't know if I'm close to the river, it's still a building, I don't know if it's like right next to it, but
This will be close to the tree that you find.
okay, yeah.
You were calling Bethany the orc weird. Like,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I meant. He's a little weirdo.
Hey, look.
Yeah, and
We don't judge.
I'm gonna like
you
kneel
guys have
down.
been judging Bethany for the past.
Well, no, I didn't. If anything, I gave her the utmost respect. As an orc, I did not have to slay. That is
Sure.
That's where the bar is.
Got it.
Go.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and like put my knees down into the dirt, and then I'm gonna put my hands into the ground, like as much as possible, at least to get like some like dirt on top of my hands, and just kind of rest and just meditate until somebody comes to get me or whatever.
Do you need a fire or anything, or you're good?
No, I'm okay.
Alright.
So this would be, you're occupying your hour, 10 minutes or so before dinner with this?
Yeah, just straight meditation.
Okay. I'm not going to have you look for a tree because we've pretty much established that there aren't the kind of trees you're probably looking for here. But I will say that you've got a couple other options that are similar. As you just outside of the village, and the village is so small that you're not walking far when I say outside of, 4 huts away, you're on the other side of the village. And you find some shrubs that are clustered, and this is probably what you're looking for, probably that kind of thing. The banks here are shallow at first and then steep. If you were to take a cross-section of the river, it's probably like a kettle. Very deep, and then right at the shoreline you get a little bit of a place where you can stick your hands in, maybe walk out about a foot, get access to all the mud that you might need if you don't have it at the shrub, which is what you have to do, because about 2 feet back from the shore it's dry. So walking up to the shore, you can stick your hands in there and pull out. It's a black clay. It's really fine grain clay. And it doesn't take long for you to almost fall in love with this. You rub dirt on yourself regularly. You commune with this kind of earth regularly, and rubbing it on you gives you a sense of you feel the nature. And this would be a great one for you too. I would love to see if you do such a good job of communing with nature that we can bless you in a sense. So let's do a nature check for you.
Alright. That is a 15.
Yeah, that does it. Barely. Unlike the last one that blew it out of the water, but that it doesn't matter because it's effective. You get the exact same thing. Anytime you want to re-roll one time between now and the end of this particular day, you're welcome to do that. How about for you, since you're playing your lute on the front porch, a performance check?
Okay.
Make it stop!
That's a 33. A natural one.
Oh, okay.
Shot come out there. What is that infernal racket?
I'm really out of practice. I haven't played in a minute.
It's like
Obviously.
It might not have sounded that bad. I think the worst thing that you had to deal with is the fact that your top string, probably the one that you hammer on the most, pops.
Yeah, that's why. That's why.
You break a string, and you probably spend about an hour. You know how when you don't have access to more strings, you have to somehow untie what you did at this end and hope that you have just enough to tie it off, and you're doing everything you can to salvage that top string. You rolled a 1 and it broke. Roll a d6, and a 1 through 3 means you're failing, and a 4, 5, 6 means you're successful.
3.
That's cocked. See how it's kind of on a thing, and it's not the answer we wanted, so we're gonna call it cocked also. Hey! Yeah. Barely though. I would be careful with that top string. You hammer on it too hard, and it's gonna pop right out.
So my bad performance had nothing to do with skill. It was all about bad luck and a broken string. Let's get this clear.
Well, let's just work on it next time. I'm trying to pray. Slam the door.
All right, that was as eventful as I wanted it to be. And for Ava.
I think she's just gonna go on a walk to like see what the village is up to, and maybe away from him, but on like the riverbank, like read her books and stuff and study.
So you're looking for some alone personal time on the riverbank, not near your party member.
Right.
Okay, that's easy enough to do too. It's a long river, and it doesn't take long to go to the opposite end of the village and be just outside of it if you want. Mm-hmm. The river is probably the only place where these shrubs and bushes grow. It's a grassy grassland as far as the eye can see, except right around this river are these dark green bushes that, well, do what bushes do. It's probably right here that you stop and read your book.
Yeah.
What are you reading?
Wizard books.
Wizardology?
Wizard stuff.
Wizard stuff.
You wouldn't
Wizard
understand.
gang.
Wizard game.
Like
game.
spells and shit,
Like
potions and
spells and
shit.
Maybe actually, I don't know where I would have gotten the book from, but maybe it was a local library. But maybe like a book about bears.
Oh.
If that's a thing, I might have.
No, I'm not going to stop you from having a book
I
on
have
bears.
a book about bears. I like bears.
Just imagine like a kid's book about bears.
Yeah, it's just gonna pop out.
Without having you roll for this, I would say that as you educated yourself on bears, you gave yourself an edge on any time that you're dealing with a bear specifically, or even something that behaves like a bear. So, unlike what the other people dealt with, having to roll to get this, you automatically get it, but what you get is a D4 that you can add to any roll that you want one time.
When it has to do with bears?
Yes. Anytime that you're fighting, trying to figure out, trying to track, anything bear related.
You know.
Yes, I mean,
I'm not a bard this time. I was last campaign. That was
It's a
Waterdeep.
possibility. I'm just saying the possibilities.
Okay, so 40 hours.
I think we all got quiet considering the possibilities.
right. Well,
Why would the bard do that?
maybe the bear's a person.
That's true. And you know what? It's 2019.
Yeah, right? Okay.
Well, you guys spent a very nice hour, and I like that everybody got to spend a little time with some self-reflection and self-improvement. And I don't know if it's... Do you wait until somebody gets you, or do you think, Kevin, do you think you sense that the time has passed?
I'd probably wait until somebody got me.
I'll go on.
Personally.
Okay, because Bethany comes and tells you, you heard all the hustle and bustle in the home, but she came and quietly knocked on your door. And when you answered it, she explained that supper was ready, but she can't find everybody. And so you volunteered to go.
Yes.
And without any effort at all, because you're a pretty good tracker, you saw footsteps in the mud and were able to get your adventuring buddy and bring him all the way back. What about you? Are you watching the time?
No. I feel like she just is like, she's just so into reading about these bears.
Lost in
You
a bear
know?
book.
Lost in the bears. Lost in the sauce.
Bear girl.
I call Kagani. Kagani! Food's ready!
Who's that?
Kagari?
Oh,
Oh, that's Kevin.
Okay. I read that so wrong.
What's
Oh, Kevin, you're right.
okay.
I don't know why I said that.
Oh,
Now I
you're
felt. Alright, anyway.
It happens.
Kevin! Food's ready!
Alright, give me a minute. Give me a minute.
Wash your hands before you get here too.
This
Yeah,
is
get that dirt off you too!
this is for the sake of you not having to walk around. Let's roll a performance on your screaming. And what's your passive perception? I don't have you up here. It's on the far side down. Passive?
wait, passive Bruce. Wait, where is it?
Over and down. It's the see those three together.
Yeah.
I think.
My
Oh,
rolls
perception,
continue
14,
being
yeah,
this
14.
high.
Wow.
No, that'd be nice.
That is really good
What's up?
passive.
Look it up.
What'd you get?
I got 17, 18, 19.
Wait, what's your passive?
Oh, my passive perception
14?
is 12.
Uh,
Oh.
You, without having to exert yourself, hear the booming voice of your adventuring partner in the distance yelling. He's not yelling your name, but you're assuming that if he's yelling any name, it might refer to you. So you can choose to stay on the bank, or you can head back to dinner.
Yeah, I'll head back.
Okay. You're on the front porch
Yeah.
already. You've been working on your string nonstop since it popped. And it takes just a few minutes. It's, again, a small village. It's like having a bunch of tents set up, but a little more permanent. And all of you converge on this one home, and you enter, and the table is weighted down with food. It looks like somebody's grandmother came and made enough food for 9 people, and it's just the 4 of you. There are plates for each of you. There are cups, earthenware mugs that are the same color as that clay that the banks have on them. And the food that you're seeing is piled up on platters and bowls. And it looks like there's so much variety that instead of just making a non-meat dish or a dairy-free dish, there's something for everybody or a little something for everybody. So, bowls of vegetables, and there is a large fish that's about the size of Gagari. That fish is stuffed with more vegetables, so if you lift up the side of it, you'll find potatoes and root vegetables like carrots and parsnips.
I'm starving.
Right. The cheese dish that was promised is actually it's some more of those root vegetables, but they've been mixed with this cheese so that when you pick them up, they've got like string coming off of them.
I'm so hungry right now. Stop describing food.
She sits down and invites you guys to sit with her, and there doesn't seem to be any kind of a pre-meal ceremony, because she reaches over and with her hand grabs a little bit of the fish and starts to eat it and invites you guys to start.
Yeah, I get like a little bit of everything.
Yeah, just dig in.
Yes.
Let's just say for about 30 minutes you eat and eat and eat until you can't eat anymore.
Gone but not forgotten.
I'm gonna take like an extra like 15-20 minutes. Having me's really slow.
That's totally okay. She's somebody that's in no hurry for anybody to stop. If she could get you guys to eat until tomorrow nonstop, she would keep putting the food out until it was done, until you were done.
I mean, if she accepts the challenge, then I'm completely down.
Well, she's not going to stop you from eating.
Get like a picture thrown up on the wall.
He's like, Gary's gonna eat his body weight. I see.
I may be half the size of a regular sized human or elf or anything, but we double the food. So.
Well, because you burn your energy so quickly, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I say probably when I'm finished eating, I thank her. Thank you. It was very good. Everything was amazing.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
And I
Happy
give.
now.
Your food was amazing.
Whatever.
I
I
mean,
give
it's pretty
her
good.
3 silver.
Oh no! This is included in your room. This is all part of the deal. You've given me an immense 5 silver is a lot per room. Did you forget my gold? Please, you have
Are you
paid.
sure?
And yes, absolutely. I will not take any more of your money. You've already paid full price and then some. And just your company is a pleasure. I can't believe that. I can't believe that you're here with me on a night like tonight, because my good friend Bertha was supposed to join me here from upstream, and for whatever reason she hasn't been able to come and visit me.
Oh.
Why?
And
Wait, no, I haven't heard that name before.
Yeah, you have.
I'm not sure, but I know her village has had some problems, and I know that there have been some attacks. So anytime she misses an appointment, I get nervous.
Village up the river?
Yeah.
Well, we were thinking about heading that way to try and do something about the attacks.
Oh, if you could just look in on her for me and ensure that she's safe. I can't go myself. I can't leave my home. If my children come home, I want to be here. But if somebody could check in on her, that would mean everything.
I will go.
And what was your name again?
Thank you. Bertha.
Alright. Can somebody write that down, please?
I have it written down.
Alright, cool.
But I think we're going there anyway.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
there
were gonna
immediately?
talk to her anyway because Olivia talked about her.
Oh no, that's why I mentioned.
So no.
Sorry, what was your name again?
Bethany.
Alright. That's why I mentioned that I don't know if we were going to.
He's a very thorough young man.
Great.
To say the least.
Well, you didn't have it written down, but I did, so.
That's why. It's also why I told you to try to.
Well, why can't you write it down?
Hey,
I'm the secretary.
Hey, look, can we not do this now, please?
Running off of a few hours sleep, I'm feeling feisty. Yeah. Ready
Big
to start a
man.
fight.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we're not going now, though, right? We're
No,
sleeping
I'm sleeping.
first. Yeah. I'm gonna head to my room then.
I'm gonna head to my tree.
Okay.
Or bush, really.
You've carved out a little hovel for yourself, a little.
Whether he likes it or not, I'm rooming with Samaj.
Can I get the room to myself?
Yeah, I mean,
Why does she get through to herself and not me?
because
Because she paid for
Because
it.
I'm not
Yeah,
an
she paid
idiot,
for it
and I don't mind
and-
sharing my room. So like, you don't have to sleep outside, you weirdo.
No, I know, but I want to because I don't want to sleep with you guys.
I'll let the lady.
You're not sleeping in
have
the
her own
room?
So. No, I'm gonna sleep outside.
Would you like to sleep on the porch because there's an awning, or maybe on the back porch where there's not so much protection, but it's at least got the house to sleep against?
I mean, I think it's gonna rain tonight, so I think I'll sleep outside.
Well, that's unusual, but
I mean, you are unusual too, so.
Oh, dang.
Here we go.
this makes sense.
Nothing mean against you.
I respect your decision.
Thank you. You too.
I don't.
In the distance, the thunder.
You're not there.
No, that was Kayla just that was Kayla talking.
In the distance, the thunder rumbles, and the three of you that didn't have access to your weather app, so to speak, get the sense that, hey, it sounds like it's going to rain, and it sounds like it's going to rain soon. It's no problem at all for you to get to your location. You guys have gone into your room, and I would say that you're beginning you're hoping to get your full 8 hours now, right? Full night's sleep, a long rest.
Thank you.
We're going to do one of my favorite things to do with a group, and that's encounters. We're going to randomly, bear in mind that you are in a very safe place. Unless something drastic happens, you're going to sleep right through the night and have no problems at all. Which one of you would like to roll the 1d20 that's going to determine whether or not it's drastic or not?
Probably
All right, go
I
ahead.
Well, how does that
Yeah,
work
today.
with me? Since I'm like.
I'm lumping you all together in the
So
same.
much.
Alright.
You're
There,
great.
a narrative twist will occur as long as, or won't occur as long as.
I have 7.
Okay, you're fine.
Okay.
There were
Yeah.
two numbers we did not want to see. A 10% chance that crap would have gone down, and it did not happen.
Alright.
Okay, so thank God for not rolling that one. We appreciate it.
Feel free to push that long rest button to give yourself, if you're down any HP or if you're down any spell slots, you have them all back now. And if any of you need to choose what your spells are going to be for the next day, now would be the time to do that.
Yeah, I do need to look at that.
Let's see. Let's cure wounds. Let me see if I can get you some.
While you're doing that, I'll say that
damaging wounds.
by the time the sun rises and you guys are waking from your long rest, there are very few clouds in the sky, and those that are there are white, fast-moving, puffy clouds. The sun that's rising up gives a yellow color to the sky and reflects off of the grass in a way that, well, it's just beautiful. To see the mountains lit up with the rising morning sun and to see that green grass reflecting that in the dew, it almost makes you a little emotional. Maybe it's the birds, too. There are not a lot of trees, but the birds in this area are the grass-dwelling, ground-dwelling type, and they have some of the most beautiful and melodic songs that you've heard birds sing. You could get lost in it. Maybe that's why you slept a little bit longer than you normally would. When you do finally wake and the sun is coming up, I'd say you all come awake just about the same. And I would say that Cavan, who slept outside, wakes up as rested as everybody else because he was in an element that he's comfortable in and made a choice to be in. Yeah. Such is the way of the world. All right, you're wide awake, and you are in a room with Samash, and you are in a room by yourself, and you are on a riverbank by yourself. What would you like to do?
I guess I would collect everybody together. Oh, I'll wake everybody up with a tune, like just start rocking out.
Performance check again.
Ah, heck yeah.
Ava doesn't take kindly to be woken up, so if it's bad...
13.
Okay.
You begin to play a gentle morning ballad, a rock ballad, clearly.
Oh, yeah, of course.
A metal rock ballad, clearly. But the rhythm of it is something that is easier to wake up to, and the dulcet tones are a little more easy to listen to than some of the hard, jarring chords that you like to usually rip out. This is a beautiful, it's almost like your acoustic version of some of your hard rock albums that you're putting together for everybody.
Oh, okay, because I was about to say, if it was going to be hard rock early in the morning, all he would saw was lightning.
Oh, somebody's car got hit.
Alright. So,
I didn't
Well.
drive here. Ain't my car.
Somebody hit your car?
no, man.
Oh, my car just sucks.
You know, that's a very good tune. I appreciate that.
Okay, I feel like we should probably start hitting soon, so.
Alright, let me suit up.
You Iron Man?
Hey, look, that's heavy armor. What you talking about?
Too soon.
No spoilers!
What do you mean?
What's that name?
What do you mean?
God? Is that the
Bahuma?
voice I hear?
Bahuma?
Spoiling Endgame for me? Okay, yeah, I leave and I'm ready to start the day.
Okay.
Alright.
Bethany awakes and is in the room, and she's obviously cleaned everything up from the night before, so she's got a tray that has steaming mugs on it, and the mugs contain a hot tea. You're welcome to drink it, but you don't have to. She's made it as an optional morning beverage for you. She has no
I'll take it.
breakfast for food, but she has the tea.
Alright, I'll take
I say, Bethany, I really appreciate the thought. And then I grab one, and we reach into my pocket, pull out this little flask, and kind of pour a little bit in there.
Mhm.
And then I enjoy my spiked drink.
So
No, I take the tea, I drink it, I put like 2 silver on the table. Just to, be like, thank you, that's a tip for what you
Don't
have done.
forget to tip your waitresses. I take some tea. I don't spike it because I'm high on life, but straight edge. And I drink it and I say thank you. I already tried to give her 3 silver last night and she said no. So.
I'm still better than I'm just meditating for like a half an hour.
Okay.
Alright.
Bethany is going to attempt to reverse pickpocket the silver that you put on the table and slide it into your pocket when you're not looking. You'll have to suffer through this if she's capable.
Hold on, I'll roll. Can I roll against that?
Well, this will be passive. You're not actively aware.
0, because I don't have it.
10 plus your wisdom modifier.
That's 10. Okay, so that's
So 12. So
12.
It's 2.
All right, so I'm the one that's going to try to beat that, or Bethany is.
yeah.
Oh crap! She rolled a 1. So she walks over with the 2 silvers,
Shoves you in the...
and she punches you in the face.
You'll never know.
She has the silver poised right over your back pocket, and she's about to drop it right in your purse. And she drops the coins, and they miss the purse, and they bounce right off of some metal armor that you've got, and they make a reverberating ting 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 sound, and the silver falls on the ground.
And I look at her, and my eyes go. I kind of intimidated. I was like, "You will take the silver," and all you see is my eye. All you see is my eyes and my mouth. You will take the silver, and you will. And that's all I say. And all she sees is lightning in my eyes and in my mouth. You will take the silver.
Okay.
Very well, very well. Thank you so much.
What a sweet lady. Out of character. What a sweet lady.
I would love
And
to
I
have
know
that
I
with
just made myself, okay, out of character. I just made myself like a jerk. I've been like a complete jerk to this lady for the whole thing.
her. She's fine.
Safe Bethany. Get it trending.
When you've lived a hard life, it's hard to really ruffle your feathers. She's been through the ringer.
Bethany's
All right.
a wholesome
Let's.
person.
We hired
We-
Bethany.
We heard Bethany. Yeah, sorry. There was a beach called Bethany Beach near me growing up, and I just had like flashbacks of I
Hold on,
heard
that's in
Bethany
Delaware.
Beach.
Hold on,
It is
that's
in Delaware. You're
Delaware.
from Maryland. Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly. What
Yeah,
I
but like
do.
those I Heard Bethany Beach
Right.
shirts, that's just what I thought of. But just I Heard Bethany. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So I say thank you so much for your hospitality. Really appreciate it. I think we gotta go. Gotta collect the weirdo from the river or bush or wherever he's landed. So nice meeting you.
Oh, and you.
It was an honor.
Was
We
it-
continue being blessed.
It was a pleasure to have guests like you. And remember, and I hate to ask a favor, but please check on Bertha for me.
Of course.
Absolutely.
It was a pleasure meeting you, Bethany. May the Lords of Rock bless you.
Rock on, my gnome friend.
Yes.
Wait, what did I just do? I don't know.
You were
I
hanging
tried.
loose, I think. But
Yeah,
yeah,
hang
close.
close enough.
All right, you exit the house, and Bethany's hut is in the distance because you are following the river downstream, correct?
Right.
All right.
That's where we're supposed to go, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, sure.
The river's flowing out of the mountains and then across the plains, and you're following it downstream. You've probably got about a half day's walk before you get to the next journey. There are other ways to get there, but you'd like to walk.
What does that mean? Like, there's other ways for
Yes.
us to do it?
Yes, we're walking.
Okay.
I want to know what he means by there's other ways to get there.
You know,
Maybe-
there's a lot of transportation methods in this world.
Is
I mean,
there a
can you
boat
fly?
nearby?
Can
you
I call
fly?
an Uber?
Is there a
There's no
You mean
fancy Uber.
you mean a Ruber?
We did take a close look at the village coming in, and we saw those 2 to 3 docks with
Right.
either skiffs or canoes.
Right.
We did meet the gnome that is a water lizard fisher. So you know there's other options, but walking is what you've done up until this point.
boat, 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 boat?
I'm down for a boat.
Yeah, come on.
Can a boat hold a big guy like me? I don't know. I might have to just
Depends on
take.
how big
You
a
won't
boat
know
is.
until you try, my dude.
Exactly.
You see all this plate armor? If I fall in,
Boat, 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 boat,
I'll
boat.
fish you out.
How, gnome?
I'll find a way.
Boat, boat,
How are we
boat.
supposed to pay
I'm
for
already
this boat?
walking towards the dock, so
I'll
don't
pay
worry
for
about
it.
it.
You know, I'll pay for the boat since he paid for the room.
Okay.
Alright.
I forgot that we have to pay for things.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, if you. Yeah, go for it.
All right.
Are you still gonna walk?
I can.
No, I'm not.
Right there. I go up to the
Freeloader.
docks.
Okay,
You offered.
when you get to the docks, you see what's clearly an area you hadn't studied before is the center of this village. The huts are built around this area. These 3 docks seem to be the most important part of the whole town. And on them, you don't see many of the vessels you saw when you were coming in. It's as if everybody went out in the early morning or in the night and they're not back yet. However, there are 2 that are tied up. One of them looks like a skiff, a flat-bottom boat that's about as wide as one of today's airboats. You know, it's a rather wide, flat boat. And for the river like this, that's a good way to go around and get in the reeds and the weeds and get a lot of the water lizards that they hunt here. The other one is a vessel that doesn't look like it gets used very often. It's got an old tattered sail on it. And generally you don't use sails on the river unless you're trying to go upstream. You're not familiar enough with these boats or rivermanship to be able to tell exactly what it's for, but those are the things you're seeing. A vessel with a sail, which is unusual, and a vessel that's a flat-bottomed skiff, which is common. You don't see anybody around right now, but the closest hut on the end of the middle dock has smoke coming out of the chimney.
We're not gonna take the
I'll
boat.
gather
I'm
you.
gonna go
Just
to.
take it.
No.
Take
We're not gonna do that, dang it.
Let's take it.
We are not.
Let's take it.
We're
I'm
not.
already on the
Take it.
boat.
Is it like tied to one of the docks?
They're all.
All right, I'm going
the
to
boats
where
are
the
tied.
thing has
I ain't
a.
worried about it.
Is there
I
anybody
am.
around?
I got a deck.
I'm going.
You don't see anybody. You just see the smoke in the house that you're walking up to.
Yeah, I'm walking up
This
to.
is
I knock on.
good. Come on, get on the boat.
I knock on
The
the
gang
door.
steals a boat.
Somebody's knocked on the door. You've stepped into the boat. Are you untying?
I feel like, yeah, but I'm also ready to hop into the water and hide if someone.
I'm ready
jumps off.
with my loot to charm somebody if it comes down to it.
Or chop them? Charm or chop?
Charmer chop. Yes, that is the.
I at least got a
That's the
decently. I got a
italics in the
decently high
description of
charisma.
Gnome record.
I'll start
Charmer
with
chop.
You start untying the boat.
I love
Yeah,
that.
hell yeah, going rogue. Let's go.
Yeah.
I knock on the door.
The
Very
door,
slow.
the door
Let me
opens, and there is a very, very old man. Probably, if not one of the ones that you saw yesterday, talking to the gnome. Then apparently every old human in this village looks the same, like Cousin It, with more white hair than they should probably have. Been fishing this river for a long time. Answers the door, and he's holding one of the steaming mugs that looks just like what you drank out of from Bethany's, and he says, "Well, good morning."
We're trying to seek a ferry down river. We're trying to go to the next village, the one that's having problems.
Oh, well, that's nice of you. Hi. Are you waving to me or the DM?
Yeah, I'm waving to you from like far away, not you, the DM, but the
Oh,
character.
okay.
From the boat, untying the boat.
Oh, it looks like your friends are taking my boat.
Well, I'm here to pay for it.
Oh, do you know how to handle it, or should we get you a pilot?
I should let them just go and drown on their own, but I think I need a pilot because I don't think they know what they're doing.
Well, for visitors from this city like you, we have it's a slightly elevated rate. I hope you don't mind me
I don't.
cushioning the rate a little.
I don't mind.
All right, it's 2 copper per day, but I want you to know that one of those copper goes to the pilot and one goes to the owner of the boat. So I don't want you to feel like you're being robbed of your hard-earned money.
All right.
A lot of people balk at that kind of quantity.
How much?
Okay, I could take 1.5 copper, but we'd have to cut the copper, and we do that in this village.
How about I give you 5 copper and you take us down?
That math doesn't add up.
Are you joking? And he holds his hand out.
Yeah. Here, take it.
Oh, thank you. Yes, no, please keep on tying, my friend. I'll be the pilot. I'll take you. And
Don't take the boat. We got a pilot. Does any of y'all know how to steer this thing?
It's a great day to learn.
No.
Exactly.
What we're not gonna do is mess this up.
So we did get the boat, right?
Yes, we did get the boat.
He closes the door, and there's an old man with long white hair and a long white beard and long white hair everywhere else, who's coming down from the house where he'd been, holding his mug of steaming beverage, and he steps off of the dock into the boat where I think 2 of you are currently.
Yeah.
It steps into the boat, and even though when he steps in and the boat rocks like this, he doesn't seem to notice. It's to him as if he's walking on flat land that's not stationary. He's born to be walking on vessels in a river, it seems. He's got his river legs for sure. He steps right into the boat and has a seat near the back. And at the back, there are a couple different devices, and you might find out what they're for as we're traveling. But the one job that the old man does is he starts to untie the 2 cleats that hadn't yet been untied by the rest of the party. And do you guys, I guess you're stepping in?
Yes, I'm stepping in. I don't see how this will fit a big. Why did I get suckered into this?
Somebody's afraid of boats.
Look at you.
I am not afraid of anything. I'm gonna grab him because I'm that jerk. You wanna roll against me? I'm about to grab. I'm about to grab
Are you
him.
grappling by the neck?
Yeah, I'm going down.
This will be a strength check.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna roll to grapple, and you're gonna roll to not be grappled.
It's cocked.
That's 18.
Uh-oh.
That's cocked though.
It's got. Okay, let me do that again. Oh, you lucky. Ooh, I
Just
only
roll
got
it.
Yeah, you're good. You're way good.
I just kind of flick you away. It's like, get off me.
He's small.
And then hold on, my eyes, of course, lightening up and mouth partly opens. I fear nothing.
Except for boats, apparently.
You really are testing my patience.
Shoot him with lightning.
There's a scared old man now at the back of the boat who's watching this go down. And even though you lunged and you occupy a lot of space in this vessel, and it does rock real hard, it's not the moving of the boat that terrifies him. It's clearly that this dragonborn has lightning coming out of his eyes and teeth. And this wasn't 5 copper's a pretty good haul for him, but I don't know. It's getting a little sketchy. But he's not getting out of the boat. He's just watching everything and waiting for it to calm down. And as the last cleat is untied, the current of the river takes the vessel out and begins to move you downstream without any kind of effort from the man who's still just watching you
I
guys.
just see the old man kind of be afraid of this guy over here. I just go up to him, whisper to him, "Don't worry about him. He's all spark and no bite." Thank you.
Don't let it look.
End the stream there. We got more time to kill. Like, how are we
Mic
gonna
drop.
top that? Like,
Where's the... I'm going to go donate now. Wow, okay, good stuff. Let's just say that, you know what? You also get a D4 of inspiration just because the DM's so tickled.
Heck yes.
You can use it however you want. You can add that D4 to anything. I would love for you just to first picture what your vessel looks like, because it's a very wide, flat boat. It's also very long. You're in a very wide river, and you've got a very large, heavily plated dragonborn sitting in the front. And so he's kind of hunched over, looking back at everybody with the direction you're going towards his back. Everybody else is facing forward, and if you guys weren't all seated at the back and he wasn't seated at the front, there'd probably be some inequity in the way that everything's floating, but you're pretty well even in the water. There's a mist because it's the early morning, and you guys are gliding through it. And then without knowing what happened, you start to move a little faster than the current. And maybe those of you sitting close enough to your pilot turn to look at him and see that he's released a couple of the tools that were on the back. One of them is a board that he slides into the water and attaches, and now there's an arm from that board that sits just over his lap, and as he gently moves it, it adds a little bit of speed but also some direction. So he's got a steering board now, and he's able to steer with it. On the other side, he drops another device in, and it has a similar arm that comes over, but this one isn't for steering. It looks like it's for propelling. And every so often you see him move it like this, and you feel the boat pick up just a little bit of speed. You gather that normally they might not use this to go downstream. This looks like it might be an upstream tool, but something has made this man think that maybe getting to the destination sooner would be better for him. So he's trucking you guys along pretty fast downstream. What was going to take you a half day of travel only takes you an hour on the river, which means we're only going to have one river encounter roll instead of the 4 that I was excited about. Who rolled the last encounter? Okay, so one of the 3 of you that didn't roll is going to roll
go
a
ahead,
d20.
Carlos.
And let me, before you do, I'd like to look at my chart to make sure I'm not missing something.
Any modifiers?
No, this is different. It's just a randomizer.
7.
Okay. As you're headed down the river, you come around one of the bends, and you hear your pilot gasp a little. And as you turn to look in the direction that he's looking, you see what looks like one of the vessels that you're in, but you're not looking at the proper side of it. It seems to be upside down in the water. You're looking at the hull from the part you shouldn't be seeing.
I jump in.
That's a free boat.
Okay.
I dive under.
You're about... Are you doing it when you see it, or are you waiting until you get close to it?
Doing it when I see it.
Okay, so you jump in the water about 20 feet ahead of it, and you dive down. What do I need to know about you as a swimmer?
He's not like a super fantastic swimmer. I'll have to check the book again to see if there's anything on that. I can't remember if there is or isn't, but he did, like, his homeland is very swampish,
Yeah.
so it's not unnatural to him by any means, but I wouldn't say he's like the best swimmer in the world. You know?
So the normal speed for him, 30 feet.
I think it's halved when you're in the
Yeah.
water.
I'm mostly just checking on your backstory to make sure that it's not unusual for you to be swimming. And,
Yeah, no.
Okay. And especially this dark water. If it hadn't been a swamp where you grew up, you might not be so quick to jump in the darker water. This water is mixed with a lot of the volcanic ash and clays that come from these mountains, and so that's why the river has a very dark appearance. And it's also why you have that dark clay on the shore that you see the people making their pottery out of. You dive down, and it's hard to see in the dark, not because of darkness, but because of the particulate matter in the water. It's like a screen of debris in the water. But that doesn't mean you can't see. You've got about 5 feet of visibility while you're swimming around down there. What are you looking for?
Looking for people, things that you may have found, but mostly people.
Okay. Let's do an investigation roll since you're specifically down there with your hands looking around.
Wait. Plus 2, so 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
How many did you add with the 4?
2.
Okay, that was a good choice there.
Thank you.
As you're swimming around with your hands, you're doing what a lot of lifeguards do when they do a body check. It's not just looking; it's also feeling. Oops, sorry guys. It's also feeling, and you're covering a square every time you go forward a little. And it's during your 5th one of these squares that you make with your hand as a check that your hand hits something that has a give to it. It's clearly not something stuck in the water. It's something that's floating near the bottom of the water. With a gentle squeeze, you feel flesh, and with that squeeze not getting a response, and with you having a special little understanding of how this works, you can tell this is a dead body.
Dead body, like, for sure?
For sure.
Okay, just in case, I'm going to cast Spirit of the Dying.
Okay.
Just to, like, double, triple check, and I'm going to try and bring that body up.
Okay. What does Spare the Dying allow you to,
Basically,
as an extreme?
When they hit 0 hit points, it just stabilizes them. So basically, they just stop making death saving throws. And they stabilize to 0 hit points, not 1, 0.
And it has nothing to do with pulling back from beyond the dead or anything?
No, it's not.
The spell has no effect on undead or constructs.
Okay.
So,
Okay. I kind of felt like that
Nothing
was
like
the
that.
case, but I wanted to make sure you didn't have any
yeah.
additional
No.
bonuses. You pull the body up, and you begin to cast that ritual spell, and there's no positive effect from it. While you're doing this, you also get help from the other people on your vessel, and they pull the body up out of the water and place it on the boat, and it almost looks like the pilot. The pilot, your pilot, is very troubled by what he's seeing. This is his friend. His friend went out this morning to fish for the water lizards, and apparently something happened. And what you guys see on the body is that it doesn't look like he drowned. It looks like something mauled him. He's got a bunch of scratches across the top of his torso, and he's missing all of his arm from just on the other side of the elbow down. He could have easily bled to death, or had some that kind of trauma is probably what ended his life.
What is in this water? What are you not telling us?
Generally nothing, but this looks like one of those attacks that they've been dealing with upstream, where you want me to take you. Downstream, I'm sorry. Where you want me to take you.
I'm going to dive back in the water and look for things.
Okay.
People.
cabin is that smart?
I'm underwater already.
I would say that that investigation you did is still in effect for this, and you have very little effort locating a second body.
Okay.
You bring up the second body, and it looks very much like the first. These two people seem to have gone out. This one doesn't have the same kind of wounds, possibly drowned. It's hard to tell. It's just he's not scratched and not mauled. He was just underwater.
Okay. I'm gonna keep doing it until I find nothing.
That would be it.
Okay.
The search for things brings nothing. These boats, when they fish with them, they usually don't have anything additional in there, and if there was, maybe it floated away.
Okay. How big are the pets on the body?
Very large. If you were to take a look at the way the scratches crisscross, and you were trying to estimate how big the paw was that made them, 2 hands, very big. So there's about 5 or 6 scratch marks per swipe, and the swipes are about a foot wide.
Would I recognize them at all? Especially from like assuming it was a bite or something.
So we'll do a nature check.
Okay.
Could be survival, but I like nature better.
That is a 16.
That's enough for 2 things. It's enough to say, yeah, this looks like a bear. But it's also enough for you to say, this is a weird bear. There's something not quite right about the way the claws are spaced, or... You know what it is? It's the number. There's 6.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Bears have 5 claws, and this one seems to have 6. This is a larger than... and also a differently formed creature than what you would recognize. Everything else screams bear. The mauled area right here, it doesn't look like it was bit off. It looks like it was wrenched off, as if something strong grabbed, ripped, and tore. So you'll see a combination of bite tears and contusion tears that are just meat from meat rips. Yeah, it's kind of gross, but it is what it is.
Pretty brutal.
I'll look over at the guy. Do you mind if I look at
Oh,
Is there enough room on this boat for you to bring extra bodies?
You have a second boat. We can just flip
I
it.
do have 2 boats.
these
You
are
didn't necessarily say you flipped it either.
these are really large,
Not much
and
longer.
it would take. They've got tools and other vessels that you would use to flip them over. It's not like a canoe. It's more like a. It's too
Like a
deep.
schooner?
A flat bottom. I wish I could just take you down to the Lake Jessup and show you these airboats we're talking about.
Okay, I know what you're
So-
talking about. With the huge fan on the back?
Yeah.
Okay, I know what you're
It's
talking
flat, wide. There's enough room for you to drag these people in. The only reason that there was any kind of a balance issue is because your dragonborn friend is so big and so armored that it makes the balancing of that a little awkward. But there's plenty of room to add more carcasses, which you've already done. And the pilot has no problem with you looking. He probably considers you guys experts in this type of adventuring.
Alright, I'm gonna like start cutting open some of the wounds a little bit more and trying to like look inside the body to see if there's any like... Basically just to see if there's any sort of outside source that might be doing something to it besides just like a blunt cut, like poison something or, you know what I mean, like rotting, like
Yep.
just trying to see if it's been like, how long it's been dead or something.
Are you doing an autopsy on this thing, Ogre? Is that what you're doing?
A little bit. I'll slowly start to like cut away some of the skin,
I think I'm gonna
make
be
some of the
sick.
cuts bigger.
Nasty.
That's metal.
That's metal. That's hardcore.
Oh, I'm gonna be sick.
Let's go ahead and do the
Interesting.
medicine check.
There's some checks.
Someone just donated 50 cents.
Whoa!
Do we know them?
Whoa. It is Mr. 3AD. River. Thank you.
Oh, they took the
You're
lead,
top
right?
donor. Yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you.
Yeah, we'll
Thank you.
We'll roll our challenge / punishment in just a second. That was
Oh,
awesome.
Awesome.
Alright.
I'll do that one.
Ooh. What'd you say?
Which one? We were doing.
Medicine.
Yes, thank you.
14.
No modifiers?
No, that was with the modifier.
You're very confident that this is just natural animal. You're not finding any necrotic damage. You're not finding any what looks like poison, or the flesh hasn't been burned away by any kind of an acid or anything.
It's like straight brutality.
Seems like it.
Okay.
Seems like it.
Yeah, sorry about your friend, I guess. Do you want to like throw him back in the water?
No, I appreciate the offer. I'll take them back. We have a way of handling our dead, and I know that their families would like to take care of that.
This guy's dead. Yeet.
I mean, there's two of them there now, so.
Yeah, you do see the pilot take about 3 minutes to use some line that he has on the boat, and he ties off on the flipped over boat. There's a steerboard sticking up, and he ties around the steerboard, and he ties that off on one of the shrubs on the shore, just to make sure that the vessel doesn't float anywhere. And then he continues on the way with you guys. So there's about 15 or 20 minutes left in your journey, and it's pretty uneventful. So you come around one of the last bends of your journey, and there you see another village, almost exactly like the one that you'd seen before, but this one is clearly bigger. This one has 4 docks, and this one has maybe 15 little huts.
Whoa!
And several of them have smoke coming out of them, as if the people are home and not out working already. So this village must also have people that don't spend all day on the river.
This village is poppin'.
It's probably got a Costco. It's probably got
Dude.
A
everything.
Yeah,
fantasy
right.
Costco, would you say?
It's not good
You
enough
mean a
for fantasy
Fosco?
Costco.
Fantasy
Funny.
Costco? Or, oh,
Fosco. We call it Fosco.
Got a deal for you.
Or a gnomic Costco, like a Costco.
Costco.
A Costco?
Good Costco.
Good Costco, that's fine.
Sorry.
You pull up to this giant village by comparison to the last one, and your pilot pulls his vessel up to the largest dock, and there are a handful of people at the end of the dock. It doesn't seem that they were watching you come. They don't care that you're here. They were down there doing something else, but they do take notice of the carcasses in your vessel, and they do begin to talk about the wounds that they see on the one, because these people have been living with this kind of an attack for a week and a half now. They've lost several of their villagers to this. You hop out of the vessel and onto the dock, and we're going to take a little break right there and tend to our awesome donation that we got.
Yeah.
The donation level is $53.
Nice. That's what's up.
Somebody wanted
Thank
to
you
take
so
the
much
lead.
for that, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that is
real.
You know,
So here's how the fun
That's
works.
insane.
There
Yeah,
are
that's
6 of
crazy.
us here, and we're all going to get a number. Zoe's going to be 1. She's so excited.
Yeah, Zoe.
Zoe, number 1.
Show
2
her
is
the
not a
approval.
winner until nobody remembers.
2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This extra life die will determine who faces the fun challenge / punishment.
Okay.
Here it comes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh crap!
What is it?
I mean, woo! 2.
Hi, yay!
Hey, I'll take the hit for you.
Well, let me see if I
No,
can.
you don't have to. It's
Let me
okay.
see. No, I like this. I'd be
I
happy to
think
hand
it's
it
fair.
off. Why don't you roll the d20 then? Let's see.
I'll take the D20. I'll take the
Happy to
D20.
hand it off.
13.
13. He got to 13.
13. All right, we've seen this one 3 times before. This will be the. Oh, good. There's still one left. It's eat a whole orange in 30 seconds.
Oh.
I know.
Brilliant.
Ooh.
And we've identified now, and anybody that's been following the stream all 24 hours, or however long it's been, knows this does not include the peel,
Alright.
Okay, that's good.
just the orange.
Just the orange. Alright.
Wouldn't it be? Well, never mind. I won't do that. But wouldn't it be funny if it was a lemon? You know,
We do have
Yes.
lemons here.
like eating a whole lemon.
No.
I'll eat a whole
I
lemon
would
for
eat a
fun
whole
right
lemon.
now. No,
Same.
like I'm not even worried about it.
Alright, who's got a timer? Somebody get a timer. We
Hold on, I
we
gotta finish.
timer.
Can I finish unpeeling it?
Oh
bro?
my
It
god, why are you
includes
so
the
slow,
peel.
dude?
Look, chill out.
Whatever, dude. Critical Role's better.
Hey, look, how you gonna go on our stream now? Oh, where's the
You just
loyalty?
show up to my birthday
boy?
party, the birthday cake.
With a birthday card on my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Alright.
Love that,
Alright.
man.
30
What?
seconds?
Yo,
Hold on,
have you
hold on.
listened to Igor yet? Has anybody listened to Igor?
No.
Dude,
What's that?
so good. New album.
Whose album?
Oh my god.
He just said the group name.
No, that's the album
I don't
name
listen to music.
of Tyler the Creator.
Alright.
Oh, yeah. I
30
don't
seconds, you said?
It's good.
Music.
I usually don't listen to his music, but it's good. It's really, really good.
Y'all ever
You know
listen
what? For the ones who are know me that's watching this, they don't know me very well, do they?
Alright, wait, somebody got a timer?
I have a timer.
Well, hold on, but we're gonna wait till our
Yeah.
DM comes back so he can
Yeah.
see this.
No. I say we start now.
I say
I
we
say
wait.
we wait till Jason comes back.
Wow, okay.
So I can talk about my new favorite album, not by Tyler the Creator.
Which is?
It's called Six, and it's a musical, and it's great.
Classic.
And
Classic
it
Kayla.
got popular on TikTok, but it's like actually a slap.
That's how you know it's bad.
Okay, Billie Eilish is really popular on TikTok, but you stan her, so.
Yeah, because Billie Eilish makes
Eyelash. Billy Eyelash.
Oh, why are you bringing the Waterdeep character in here, man?
What Waterdeep character?
My Waterdeep character, because I named him Billie Island.
Thank you, Ugly Kiwi, for following.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You're still pissed about that, but whatever.
I bet you're beautiful, Kiwi.
Did you manage to eat the whole orange?
Not
Yeah,
yet.
it's gone.
Not
It's-
yet.
I've
I was waiting until
I have
you
the
to get
timer
back.
ready.
Oh,
he
that's-
was getting another one.
Hold on, let me fill my coffee up before you do it.
Alright, yeah, so you gotta wait more.
Man, you know what? Make it interesting. Because we pass you another one.
What?
Orange.
We don't have any. That was the last one.
Then fine. I don't want to mess. I don't want to mess.
We'll give him a lemon.
Oh, look at that.
I'll eat a lemon.
You want to
In
eat
30
a-
seconds?
In 30 seconds, you can eat a lemon.
Go for it. Yeah, do
I'd
it.
like to try.
No, I dare you.
All right.
Double
okay.
dog
Oh,
dare
we're
ya.
Give me one too. I like lemons.
I like that.
Where
Do you need those lemons?
Come on,
I'm
get
sorry. Sorry, if you need the lemons, I won't eat your lemons, but.
If you're gonna eat a lemon, I can buy more lemons.
Okay.
Hey, ugly kiwi, nice.
Sounds like a
Oh, he actually
beautiful kiwi to
subscribed
me.
Well, I mean that's her name. I mean, I'm just calling it the way she said it, or she wrote it, or yeah, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't
Oh, here we
either.
go.
Gross and
Wow, like that lemon strong.
Yep.
All right,
he's a strong boy.
My.
all right, y'all ready? 30 seconds,
no, hold
right?
on, my lemon's not peeled yet.
But you
Good
can't.
gravy.
You can't choke. You can't choke to death.
Oh, I'm not.
No
Trust me.
I mean, you can, just like don't do it on camera. 'Cause, yeah, we kind of can't stream when you do that. So
Also, it'd have to be off my property.
yeah,
It's
more-
Push you, push you on the other side of the property line.
I'm just gonna get.
y'all, these Orbeez are big, dude. They're
Right?
so big.
Yeah, those are huge.
Grant's children.
Where is Grant, by the way?
He should be caring for his children.
Where is he? What do you got? See here.
Aw.
Who was that giant donation from?
Alright, I'm ready.
All right, you ready?
No, I don't think Carlos is.
Good grace.
Mr. 3
Once Ashley ate an entire lemon with the rind on.
Oh.
I'm sure she doesn't love me telling that story right now,
Hold
but
on, yeah.
that's kind of iconic
She
though.
like it. Wait, I have a timer.
Too.
You have a timer?
Yep.
All right.
All right, y'all have fun, dude.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Careful, careful, careful. No choking. Wow, this is a lot of citrus, you guys. I
I have
get
to worry about scurvy.
nobody's getting scurvy. Not even people sitting close to you. You like?
Gone.
Are you changing your mind? Because you certainly don't have to finish the. Yeah, you killed it. Are you gonna eat the other one too?
Oh, sure. Why not? Let's
I'm
do it.
upset now because I got up to walk over here to make a scurvy joke, but
Oh.
the two of you already.
Sorry.
Wow, lemons really taste like that, don't they?
We'll leave it to-
It tastes like scurvy? No.
Gone.
Good
I
job.
forgot.
Good job.
Hold on, and mind you, that was 2 and 30
These
seconds.
lemons
Just putting
taste
that out.
different. They need sugar or something or peppermint.
Well, you know where you won't get a lemon? Toyota of Orange.
I
That's colloquial AF.
I hope they're sponsoring
I
us.
get it.
Oh wow, she plays
Well, there's a
her
legitimate
campaign on her
place
brother's
in Orange County,
game.
California, not Florida.
It actually hurt my nose.
Are you guys okay?
Yeah, it just tasted acidic, believe it or not.
What?
I would have guessed.
Say what?
The lemon seems so
Oh
basic.
my god. I have lemon in my nasal cavity.
Yeah, go ahead.
Put the lemon down for now. The rest of my lemon.
Yeah, we have.
No, I think you should finish
Alright,
that
where's the
lemon.
trash?
No.
And talk the big game.
Just right there on the counter's fine.
How'd it go? How'd you guys do?
They ate lemons. Like, legitimately ate lemons.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
I
do
still
that all the
have-
time.
I
I
still-
did that with my dad, where we would get
Hey,
those
look,
like
you know,
little
like,
like
y'all are beasts.
bottles of the lemon juice,
Oh, yeah.
and we would try and see who could drink it all first.
Do you want the rest of my lemon?
No, I'm okay. I'm not in the mood for lemon right
Yeah, my nose.
now. Yeah.
They used
Oh.
to sell
Go ahead.
like lemons with like
Were you
peppermint
gonna-
sticks in them.
Yeah, go. We're gonna take. We're not leaving. We're not going anywhere. A couple of us went somewhere, but I do want to take this minute. First off, again, to thank Mr. AD3. No, that's not the name. Mr. 3AD, and in addition to all of the other people that have been with us throughout the stream and donating to the Arnold Palmer Hospital for Children. But also just hanging out with us, because this is what we love to do, and it's fun to sit and play this game, and it's even more fun to share it with people that enjoy watching us play the game. So just having you be here is spectacular. If you're a first-time visitor, click that, ring that bell, follow, give us a follow,
Like, comment, and subscribe, guys.
hit us up on
Only 3 more
Patreon.
followers to 100.
3 to 100.
Smash that mother loving like
to
button.
100.
So
Wow, look
we
at
only
that.
need 3 people to click the follow button, and we're triple digits for followers.
Look at that.
Follow.
We're basically Critical Role, you guys.
Basically.
Time to do a Kickstarter and get that
Whoa.
7.5.
We don't
Make it an
talk about
animated
that.
series.
We do.
We're
They
slowly becoming rivals.
they specifically said that all of their fans should reach out to startups like us and help them out. And if Matt Mercer says that, then
Then it must be true.
you should probably do
Whatever he says is
God
true.
says.
it. Absolutely.
Right. Whatever God says.
Like whatever.
Yeah,
you
did you see his interview? It was an interview outside, and he was literally just talking. One of the questions was like, like what makes you happiest anymore? And he was like, well, my wife,
Mala.
my family at Critical Role, and all the fans that make this possible. I'm like, there's literally like nobody nicer in the world but Matt Mercer.
Yeah.
I love him so much.
And there's some fear when you come across somebody like that, because you watch and you're like, oh, please be who you seem to be.
Right? Yeah.
Please,
Oh,
please,
and
please,
he's
please,
like,
please.
he's like this.
Yeah.
He's like, no, like he seems like a nice person. He's like, no, he's a saint. You know?
So he kind of like Gary Jones, because like that's somebody who
Yeah.
is like when you hear about him, he's
You're
like
like,
a,
oh,
like
he
a,
seems
like
like
a
a cool
super
dude, yeah.
like a real superhero, and it's like
Oh, got it. Yeah, got
oh
it.
my bad.
You're good.
2 more?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. So.
Two more
Yeah, that's what I was
follows.
freaking
Oh,
out.
yeah, I was
That
like,
time I was talking, I'm sorry.
I was like, man,
This
that's
is
not
our-
my.
this is our middle of the game
that
break.
stopped my whole flow. But anyway, my bad.
Matthew Mercer is a saint. That Critical Role cast is a saint.
You know,
They are
I
a
have
single
yet to,
saint.
I have yet to see that show. I need to.
Really? You
yeah.
need to. Start with the second season. The second season is a lot easier to get into than the first one, because the first one they start out at like level 11 and 12 or so. But the second season they start at level 1.
Okay.
It's like really, 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 really easy to get into.
Okay, all right. I guess I'll
Jester,
have to-
by far, favorite character. Sorry, but
Well, I'm gonna
hot take. I know,
You know
but
what? I'm gonna tell
There's
you.
a lot of fans out there, of a lot of Ford fans.
I love Ford.
And I like
Ford's
Ford.
tough.
I don't even want to talk about it, because I don't like thinking about what might be. I like to wait for them to unveil it. But every time he talks I just love it when he drops his accent, because it seems like he's hiding something. And I
Yeah.
keep waiting to find out what he's
You
hiding.
find out that it's
He's like,
something. Yeah.
Come on, man.
I know.
What's the secret?
That's my favorite part. I love it.
Those
I love it
guys
so
are amazing.
much.
I just watch that all day.
But you know what?
I could too.
I would be-
I want that to be my ringtone.
Hey, you know what though? If I had to pick, and I've said this before, and I'll say it all live. As far as Campfire Quest is concerned, if I had to pick my favorite character, it's gotta be Monolith. I'm sorry, Monolith has always been.
Monolith is great.
Monolith has always been that G. And I was like,
You know,
but you know
Ozzy's
what?
right there.
He's
And
a
look,
fan
but you
favorite.
know what?
He's
Hold
right
on,
up
no,
here,
because
right?
I was like, he's my favorite. But
I'm sorry you don't like it when rogues don't act like rogues.
I'm sorry that a ranger is more like a rogue.
Hold on, no. But see, each character has their different perspectives and why I can relate to them. Example, like Valandrills. I like Valandrills. Hey, look, I'm giving you a compliment. Hey, anyway, like I like Valandrill's progression. Like he started off as this. Like think about it. He got PTSD.
Look, you already said that Monolith was your favorite. You don't have to brown nose now.
What am I brown nosing?
I'm feeling some backpedaling right here.
I'm not backpedaling what? How, Sway? Anyway, like I was saying, I like the way how Valandrill's actual story actually progressed to what he is now. I like that part, so give my case. Get off my
Okay,
case.
here.
Ugh. Anyway.
You like his story arc,
Yeah, I like the story
his
arc.
character arc.
Okay, thank you. And as far as Jen and Tammy, I think she's like the sweetest, Everybody likes her. Yeah, she's just the sweetest. But as far as the best kills, and this is gonna be mad because I do not remember Joe Walker's character's name for nothing.
Quinn Brickard.
And Quinn always has the best kills.
Quinn
I
is-
try. You know what? Like when I play the game on Wednesday nights, I try to rival her killing her. I don't even think the coolest thing I've done.
Killing creativity.
Yeah, her killing creativity. I
With K's, of course.
With K's.
Thank
yes.
you, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, thank you for the comment. But yeah, as far as it, that's how I. But yes.
It's a ballet of death.
Right.
Anytime she gets
Oh,
to describe it, it's a ballet of carnage.
Right.
Beautiful. Love that.
And like I was like, the only thing I think I've done as far as our campaign was the whole Dragon Ball Z when the whole boulder was about to attack, and I just did kind of like a. That's the only thing cool I did. So I hopefully, as this thing goes on, I can get me a really cool death. That's what I want. I want a cool death.
Let's see if we can do that. We've got about 55 minutes left.
I have a full deck in mind. I've been wanting to use it for a while.
Oh, Jason, I found out the Falcons are partially amphibious, so I can breathe underwater for up to an hour, not including like my Constitution modifier on top of that. But I can only do that like once per short or long rest. I think it's a long rest. Pretty sure it's just a long rest, but I can't remember.
Okay.
Oh, so on top of that, you can. Oh, so you're a frog. You're a frog man.
Yeah.
Got it.
And we'll all agree that when you were jumping in the water last time, you were doing so very much like a regular being. You didn't use that power, so you haven't used it yet. You still have that at your disposal for this rest period.
Yeah, it's basically kind of just like a pool, like Lay on Hands is, where it's like a pool. I just have like a pool of an hour where I can just breathe underwater.
Oh, okay. So 10 minutes now, 30 minutes later?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, beautiful. Beautiful.
As far as I understand, and I couldn't understand it wrong.
No, we're going to understand it exactly like that for the rest of the session.
Sounds good to me.
If we learn something different, that's fun.
If you can breathe underwater, where would you go? Okay, I know none of y'all would have got
Nope.
that reference, but
Nope.
that's okay.
That's
Y'all don't
okay.
know about the snorks, but that's okay.
Oh, I do.
Thank you, Jason.
Wait, the Snorks.
Yeah, never
Was
mind.
that
We're
that
not
like Smurf looking ass?
Yeah.
That was
Except they have a
underwater.
snorkel on their
Yeah,
head.
no, I know who they are. Yeah. I used to watch that show all the time when I was a kid.
Right.
gonna. Okay.
My parents wouldn't buy me Smurfs, but I got all the snorks on.
All the Snorks. Yeah.
Thanks, Mom. Enjoy this along with my BL Joe toys.
I used to have a
Never
little
got the
Johnny
good ones.
Quest action figure too.
No,
Did
I
you ever
like
watch
Johnny
Johnny
Quest.
Quest?
Oh, yeah.
That was
Oh, okay, hold on. Now you're talking about the original Johnny Quest, or you're talking about the real adventures
The
of Johnny
fun one?
Quest?
Yeah.
the OG.
Oh, okay, those you. Okay, because I'm not gonna lie, I do like the Real Adventures of Johnny Quest because I like that song at the end of it.
yeah.
Go, ding, ding,
The song is
ding,
good.
ding. I was like, yo, that. Every time I hear it, I just get all full of energy. Like, yes.
So I should have done this while you guys were doing things. I need to grab 2 aspirin. Not bad headache, but might as well jump on it now while it's happening. But I'm going to do that right there, and I'm going to set you up to have something to talk about. You
Okay.
are out of the skiff. You are out of that large vessel that brought you down. Do you have any reason for the pilot not to... do you have any reason for the pilot to stick around, or can he take the carcasses home?
Go ahead and take the carcasses home. Here's, for the thing, I, tossed him another extra 5 for the, the trip. You know what I'm saying? Gotta make, I gotta donate to charity. Like donate to Extra Life.
You're very, very kind, sir. This is not the kind of person that's going to turn down any money you hand to them, so he takes the 5 copper. But I do want you to know that it takes him about 3 days of work to earn a copper. So for you to hand him what you've handed him, you should know how impactful it is. It impacts him a great deal.
I try to, make a great impact on people, even though I can be a little rough around the edges because I'm a dragonborn. So
Very judgmental to orcs, apparently.
They
always been trying to kill me, so I have to defend myself.
We all have our journeys to walk on this world. You guys have now let the pilot leave, and he's taking the 2 carcasses upstream. You see, as you're watching, if you glance over, you see it's a lot more effort to get upstream, which makes perfect sense. The river's not fast-moving, but any kind of current is going to make upward stream movement hard. So what you see is him not steering, but using 2 hands on that other thing, and he's able to get momentum by using what looks to you like a rudimentary propeller in the water. As he propellers away, you guys climb a ladder. These docks are about, let's say, about 10 feet off the surface of the water, as if maybe the river floods sometimes. And you climb a ladder up to the top, and when you get there, you find the 4 or 5, no, it's 5, the 5 people that are gathered around talking to one another. And they pretty much stopped talking about what they were talking about when they saw you come, and they observed the bodies. And now that you're coming up over the top of the dock and joining them, they begin checking you out. There's one person there that stands out from the others. They all look like that standard fisherman. It doesn't matter which village you're from. Somehow this cousin it thing is all up and down the river. But you have one very, very regal-looking elf. And you've not seen many elves, and you've certainly not seen many regal individuals. But this very regal elf is standing on the dock and speaking to 4 other villagers that look like the pilot that brought you up. They're dressed a little differently, but it wouldn't make a lot of difference to describe how. It's just minor differences, like must have been sewn together with different rags, for instance. The regal elven woman greets you and says, "Welcome to our village. What are you doing here?"
I'm gonna kill some bears.
We're here to take care of your terror that's plaguing your small village.
Dommerling sent you? You're from Noobs?
Yes.
Oh, we've been waiting. We heard adventurers might be coming. Oh, what a happy day. It's them! The people that are nearby give out a shout. It seems like they weren't expecting anybody to come. Like, this village had been Okay. She was making scratchy noises that made my ears hurt. That's Dobby? Have we all met Dobby?
No, I've never met Dobby.
I want to give that cat a sock. Let's see, where were we? You got welcome to the village.
And they were cheering. As soon as they started cheering, my head goes back up.
Yep, fair enough. So the 4 of you are standing on the dock, and you're facing this group, and maybe when I said cheering, that makes it seem like hats are going off in the air and there's a lot of noise. It's mostly just a lot of glad huzzas, because there's a chance that they might not have to go to sleep again tonight, worrying that they might not get to wake up. The elvish woman introduces herself as Alan. It sounds like Alan, because that's what it sounds like. Alan? Alan.
Alan Trail.
Alan.
Alan! What's good, Alan?
Comedy.
Ellen has asked you to follow her, and she begins to walk down the dock towards the... this is a much nicer driftwood hut at the end of this dock. It's larger than the others that you'd seen. And,
So it's a driftwood mansion?
a driftwood McMansion.
McMansion,
Yeah.
okay.
It's getting there.
It's getting there, okay, got it.
When you open the door and follow her in, you see what looks like almost an inn. You guys have been in enough inns to know that the benches and the tables and the counter near the back have a purpose, and you hadn't seen anything like this outside of Noobs. It's been a while since you'd seen any kind of civilization that might have a place where you could sit down and have a drink. This seems to be it. There was no sign on the wall when you walked in. There's no sign above the door, but there was a hanging wooden cask, and it's hanging off of a board that stuck out above the door, and it gives you the impression that maybe this is where you go to get drinks from out of casks like that, whether it's the wine or the ale you're after. Once you get in, Alan invites you to sit down and goes behind the counter and gets a bottle and comes back around to you guys. And she's holding 5 mugs like this with her hands and sets them down and says, "Who would like a drink? I know it's early, but I'm certainly starting."
Yes.
Pours 2, 3,
I'm straight edge.
3. More for us. And she adds a little more to the 3. Hands them over to you guys and
Well
says, "To monster killing!"
To monster killing.
Monster killing.
Have you?
So, my
Oh,
apologies.
That's alright. Have you happened to seen or heard of a dwarvish woman named Bertha?
Oh, well, of course. She was an important person in this community.
Oh. We lost Bertha?
Well, we haven't seen her for 2 days, and over the last week or so, when somebody goes missing, we're pretty
We must
much
save
sure they're
Bertha.
dead.
No, she's alive.
We
She's
must-
out there.
she's alive.
We can't accept this. Bertha's dead.
Can you guys stop being over
We want to say Bertha, okay? I'm sorry.
We will, but we first need to find out where's. Let's stay on the. Excuse me. Let's stay on the mission at hand. We're here to go kill this this thing that's plaguing this village. So let's do that. Maybe we'll find her in the midst of killing this monster.
I mean, I feel like we should put priorities on finding Bertha first.
Well,
No.
I feel like we find the bear, we find Bertha.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And also, I really think Bertha's not alive.
Hey,
I know I said she's alive, but I don't know if Bertha's alive.
Bertha did.
The other two didn't seem to. Just,
I mean,
Well,
for your back.
I'ma go look for the monster.
Maybe
out.
Bertha is the bear.
What?
It all makes sense.
What did
We
you last
solved
see?
your
Calls with the
riddle,
good
Dungeon
hair.
Master.
I know how J.R.R. Martin feels now.
All I know is our mission is at hand. Is let's kill this accursed thing.
More like Bertha.
Thank you, Ozzy.
Is that still moving?
So
Followers?
I just have the constant smell of citrus in my nose.
Was that in character or?
It was so impactful that the gnome has lemon in his mouth. Yep. You were
those are some
LARPing.
awesome oranges.
So, when did you see her last?
Well, we started our day a day and a half ago with her missing. So during that night, she'd been taken. I can give you the information that I gave the royal messenger. I'm not sure that you have all of the information, but we've discovered a few things since we last spoke to them.
What did you find out?
We've located what we believe to be the lair of these bears. We called them bears at first, but we're now convinced that they're not. It seems to be something much bigger.
what are you convinced that they are?
Well, we don't not bears is all I can tell you. It might still be a beast, but it seems a lot more like a monster, which is why we drank the killing monsters.
Anything else we need to know about this monster?
We're not sure that there's just one. We're having a hard time guessing how many there are based on the tracks and based on the deaths and the missing people. It almost seems like a group. If it's the work of one, it's a very busy monster.
Where? Oh, my apologies. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, why is she such an important figure here?
Well, she kept the community together. For a while, she was the mayor. All the people looked to her for leadership. She was recently stepped down from that role and simply ran the school. And so there were the few children in the neighborhood would go and spend the time with her during the day. And after a generation of doing this, she basically became the village's grandmother.
Why she stepped down? That doesn't make sense.
The bear took her as a political prisoner. And this is all just a scheme to become mayor.
The bear wants ransom.
The bear wants to become... Yeah, you know what? That makes more sense.
I mean,
Not
actually,
silly me thinking the bear wants to be mayor. The bear
I like
wants
that
money.
better, though. That's so much better.
What on
Bear mayor.
What in Faerun makes y'all think of these things?
I got 2 theories going, you got none, so I
Exactly.
think I'm ahead of... Yeah!
I trust the person with ideas.
Ha 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 ha.
I'm gonna need a trap. I'm gonna need an elixir for this.
So she stepped down, but why?
My hooded friend, she stepped down because of her age. She decided she was didn't have the energy to help the community the way she had, so she relegated herself to a lesser role.
Okay. Makes sense.
Well, do you have any general idea of where we can find this creature?
Oh, yes. We lost another one of our brave men who was trying to locate this lair that we think we've discovered. It's due east. Just follow directly the sun as it's rising right now, and it's about a mile away from here.
Okay.
You'll know you're close. You'll smell it. There's a smell to the area. It's not just the smell of rotten flesh. It's also the smell of... It's like a fantasy skunk. Run across one of those fantasy skunks.
Citrus?
No, that's just you.
Oh, okay.
Is it skunk or is it skunk? Yeah.
It's a dire skunk. Call back.
Could be a dire skunk.
What kind of
blazing retard?
what kind
Thank you, Mr.
yeah.
Jigger's
paw
trying to
prints
make.
came out? Do you know?
What's that?
What kind of paw prints are coming out of the cave?
Well, originally we thought bear, but we're seeing that these have now looks like 6 claws instead of 5, and the width on them is so big. If this was just a bear, nobody's ever seen a bear this size.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. It's intimidating. I'm sure we could probably take care of that whole thing.
We will
Yeah.
take care of it.
You've got this.
Okay.
You've got Gagari the gnome, the gnome worker on your
Ooh.
side. We are unstoppable.
Yeah, let's round it up.
Yes.
I will charm the bear.
And it will see the sharp side of my axe.
I don't know.
And-
That's such a great idea.
What?
I like his idea better.
Oh,
I think
Just
you should
cut it
talk
open.
to the
oh
bear.
yeah, that can work too.
Let's reason with the bear.
I don't think that's how bears work.
What kind of
I mean,
life? No, I
it
want to
could
sit
be.
down and talk about this bear story.
We charm it. We get to know it. We make
Char-
it think that's on our
wait,
side.
do you have a charm person spell?
Yes, I do.
We're charming this bear.
As charm person, not charm animal, which
You know
I,
what?
which
It's,
I
if
think
it's a humanoid, so
Last time we checked, bears are not humanoid.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, but
not
we don't know
a
if it's a
bear.
bear
I
or
can,
not.
I can speak
or if
for
it's a
them.
bugbear.
I can't see
Or
that.
Alright, well,
other
thank
bear.
you for all your help.
Yeah.
And I think
we're the
we
only
should
ones that
start
can really talk
checking that out.
Yeah, we could.
It's me who should thank you for your help. Our village has filled with hope knowing that you're on the case.
Do we get anything out of this besides,
Money.
you know?
Our villagers
No,
have
yeah.
pulled.
Do we
The
get
feeling that we
anything
know
out of
that we
this?
did the right
Yes,
thing.
yes, our
I
villagers
agree
have.
with. This is one time I
I said
actually
that
agree with.
sarcastically. I want the money.
I was like, I agree with the gnome.
Our villagers have pulled together much of their life savings just to give it to anybody that can come. We understand that King Domerling was paying you, but we want to help as well. We've put together a fund of 14 copper and a whole silver, and we would be honored for you to take this from us as well. It represents a lot of wealth, but the peace of mind that you could bring it makes it more than worth it.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right.
That is much appreciated. And we're gonna head out and we're gonna do the best we can.
Oh well, if the king trusts you, I certainly do.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot. And then I leave.
All right. Do we make our way up?
Yeah, let's go.
I like awkwardly like stay like a couple seconds later and then like shuffle out the doors.
Okay.
So we're making our way to this destination, this cave.
Walking past, faces past, we're gonna kill this bear. Do-do-do-do-do.
Is that what you're playing on your lute?
Yes. Wait, no, actually I'm playing Take Me Home, Country
Country
Roads, to the place.
We're gonna slowly
completely off
start to
track.
walk
Hard.
a little bit slower. Thank you, Ozzy. Once
man,
again.
Hey, Grant's help.
Trio.
Oh, that was Grant?
A quartet. There we go.
Oh boy.
That's a duet. That's
Well,
Well,
that's two. And
two.
Oh, got
yeah,
it.
that was
2 plus
the
2
portrait.
does equal 4.
Alright.
It's okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
I passed.
Sorry.
You walk out of the village. You walk into the grass, and there is no path that leads in the direction that you were sent.
I pull out
Think
my
there's
axe
no
and I
country
start chopping, hacking away and making our own path.
It's almost unnecessary, but you could do it out of. It just feels good to swing your axe. The grass is very pliable. You can step through it very easily.
Okay.
Maybe you're doing that for fear that there's something hiding in the grass, though. So I don't want to stop you from doing it. It's just I don't want you to think that you're cutting your way through a jungle. It's more like you're walking through somebody didn't cut their lawn for all of last summer, and you're just kind of marching your way through that. If anything, you guys are getting so wet. The dew in the grass is soaking your clothes, and we've almost reached mid-morning, and you're still dealing with that much condensation and dew on the grass. I would say that about halfway there, with you in the lead, swinging your
Yeah,
axe.
I'm in the lead. I
You
think I'm the only one that can probably take serious damage from this thing anyway, since I'm armored up.
You take one of your swings, and you're startled because a covey of about 14 black birds burst out of the grass right in front of you and swirl around all of you and then fly away. It's enough to make you catch your breath, and all of you realize that maybe you're just a little bit on edge because you realize how close you are to a potential battle for a monster that seems to be messing with a lot of people. However, nothing stops you from getting any closer, and it's about 15 minutes later that one of you, whoever has the highest passive perception, smells a skunky smell. Not the good skunky smell, the bad skunky smell. Dire skunky smell. With the smell as an indicator that you're close, you guys begin to look, and it doesn't take long for you to realize that you're headed towards what looks like a divot in the grass. Everywhere else, the grass is uniform in height, and you can look in the distance and see it continue. But in front of you, you see an area where the grass, it's not even tamped down, it's just not there. You don't even see bare ground. You're not sure why there's no bare. I mean uncovered ground. You can't understand why there's no grass there because you're so far back you're not able to look down into what you're approaching until you get there. And when you get there, you're looking down into ruins. It looks like there was an ancient building here, and it looks like it's either rotted away wood or it was stone and people took the stone elsewhere.
Is this the same place?
Place that Bethany told us about that was on the.
Bethany said that would be right up against the mountains, and that was 15 miles in a different direction. This is. It makes sense that you would think that because this is the same kind of foundation. And I can even tell you, I'm not going to make you roll a history check because if you failed, I wouldn't get to tell you. This is the same civilization built kind of a structure. So the people that built the fortress also built this old structure. And when you walk up to the edge, you can look down, and it looks like this structure had a basement. And so you're looking down into an 8-foot pit, and it's got the shape of a large building. And it has 2 entry points that look like tunnels, and it's because of this that you can see the grass isn't growing up. Instead, at the bottom of this, it's the old stone floor of the basement of this structure, and there might be some grass coming up between the stones, but even after all these years, they haven't taken over. It hasn't filled with vegetative matter.
Okay, hear me out. Let's turn this basement to a bear trap. Right? Okay, we get twigs. We cover the hole up with leaves and stuff. And we lure the bear over. And it'll fall in the hole. And then we've trapped a bear.
That would make sense for an actual bear. This is something way bigger that can.
Yeah, but it's bear-like.
I don't think that's as really.
It doesn't have to be all fighting all the time. I think it'll work.
I feel like
We don't even know what to even bait this thing with, or even.
I think it's worth a try.
I feel like we should check out what's in there if it's easily accessible.
Yeah.
Is there a way down into it?
I'm gonna go down
Here
into
we
it.
go.
One of the walls is crumbled, and where it crumbled and fell, every time it rains, water seems to wash down, and so it's made a packed ramp.
Okay. Alright. Yeah, I walk down.
Okay, you walk down, and is anybody else with you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm begrudgingly.
Okay, 4 of 4 people are down in the foundation. From where you were standing before, you didn't have access to see all the rooms because of the weird angles and little offshoot alcoves. And now that you're down at the ground level, you're able to look around and see just a little bit better because the corners aren't blocking you and the angles aren't blocking you. And one of the first things that you notice is an arm. There's an arm on the ground, and it's kind of in the alcove that's closest to you, and it's just sitting there.
Hey guys, I don't want to alarm anyone, but I think I might have just walked us into a bear den. Is there a way for me to check to see if this is a bear den?
Yep. A
Roll
nature
for
check?
bear.
A nature check? And then can I add my plus 1d4, right? Because it's bear related?
It's entirely up to you when you do that. And
I only
yes,
did
it
it
is
one
bear
time.
related.
Do I only get to do that one time?
Yes.
Add the...
You choose when to use it.
How about you roll your d20 first and then see how well that goes?
Yeah, you're right. 11.
I would do it.
Yeah, but what if we're fighting a bear and I get to...
Yeah, but we don't even know if we're fighting a bear yet. But this will help
Alright, it was only
figure
2,
that
it
out.
was 13, so...
And let's make sure. I want to give you everything you've earned. What is it you're looking for? What's your full?
I want to see if I
Gold.
just accidentally walk straight into a bear den. Because if there's an arm just hanging down there and it's kind of like an underground area where there's tunnels, I feel like I just walked into a bear den.
No, you didn't. Your entire adventuring party did. And the bear den that you're in is evident not only because of the strong smell that we described before, and not just because of the arm, but because behind the arm you see a collection of litter, and it seems to be piled up in what looks like a sleeping area or a place where a bear may hole up.
Oh, lovely.
So there's like a small litter right there. How many are there?
We're talking about a bunch of bits of clothing and cloth and bones and ceramic bits. It's a pile of debris, and it's sort of making the pile that this thing would sleep on.
And they're all in one area.
The bits and pieces?
The bears.
There's no bears.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's no. Oh, it's just the. Got it.
Yeah, you haven't.
Okay.
You've stumbled into a bear den, not a den full of bears.
Here, oh, got it.
We stumbled into his home.
Okay. This is what I think we should do. We should. Okay. I think we should all find a hiding spot and sneak attack the bear when it comes back. Yes.
Is the ground dry or what?
It's dry. It's not. There's no standing water. The rain from yesterday may or may not have hit this area, and if it did, then boy, it's drained pretty well.
Interesting.
I mean, I don't really see much else to do besides wait it out and take it by
We could
surprise.
actually go searching for it.
No.
Follow
Yeah,
some
but
tracks.
we know it'll be here,
Yeah.
so might as well.
I say we wait.
Once again, I'm outvoted.
I'm gonna try and find a small little hiding spot and just sit there and meditate until something happens.
Okay. Choose your colors.
Blue.
Wow. Green. I want
Purple.
green. I called it. I want green. I'm green.
I got to write it down here, or I will forget.
If I'm green, you
Blue's
guys
like
are
my
not green.
personality.
I was like,
Blue.
blue should be
Like-
mine because I'm a blue dragonborn.
I
But
got blue hair.
I'm blue.
The map in front of you-
He's got a blue shirt, girl.
The map.
she got a blue jacket.
The map in front of you shows the foundation that you're standing down in. The ramp that was caved in was down there near that what looks like a hallway out. This area is the area that's 8 feet above the rest. So in this map, if you have to leave and come up, it's going to take, I'm going to charge you triple your movement to get out. That's going to include climb time and things, but you're not going to have to roll to climb. You can, even you, can automatically climb out of this very deep hole if you're willing to pay 3 times your movement. The only place where you don't have to pay 3 times your movement to get out is on that rampy area, the one place where the wall caved in, right over there.
Okay.
Can you place your blue piece where you would like to hide in waiting? Oh, and let me make sure that we know where this is.
Is there any?
This is where the arm is,
Okay.
and this is where the pile of stuff is that looks like a bed.
Is there any like shrubbery above it that I could hide in? Like not necessarily in the like hole or den, but like.
Yeah, everywhere right up against the edge is that same kind of grass that Samash was using his axe to get apart,
Yeah.
and that's about, on him, about thigh high, so on you about chest high, which means anybody could probably find a way to get down and hide among the grass. It'd be harder for the bigger people, easier for the smalls.
Okay. I'm gonna hide. I'm so sorry. What was this again?
That's the pile of litter where
Yeah,
it looks
yeah,
like
yeah,
it
yeah,
may
yeah.
sleep or it may just throw garbage.
Yeah, I'm gonna hide like right here in the shrubbery.
And you said green?
Yes.
Where would you be?
As close to the entrance as possible without being.
It's kind of weird, the entrance that you would use, because you're not sure if what he uses is an entrance. You just are, you found a smelly hole in the ground. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Exactly, but just one
Thank you,
outside on the,
Zoe.
yeah, perfect, thank you. And which color?
Purple.
Okay, oh, sorry, throwing yellow. Good, Gary.
Thank you.
Where would you be?
I'd be. I guess. Oh no, I'm just trying to decide where I would be. Like in this corner, just like hiding in the
And you're up or down? I failed to mention this. When you're going in, it takes no extra time. It's only climbing out that it's a cost of triple. So jumping down is adding nothing to your time or speed. It's not taking away from your speed. What color?
I'll be orange.
All right. And where would you like to be?
You know what? I'll play bait.
So
I'll be kind of in the middle.
Do we need bait? I mean, it's its home. Okay.
can you place that and help direct where that's supposed to be for sure?
That'll be right there. That's cool.
Okay. Could you pick one of the squares so I don't have a decision later?
Can I just suggest maybe you hide two, because then I won't suspect anything?
Well, or if anything, he sees a free lunch.
It's also a bear.
Yeah, but I'm just... Well, again, we don't know if it's a bear.
That's true,
We
too.
don't know how intelligent it is.
One thing I would suggest for everyone here, take some of the dust and soot that is on the ground and please rub it on yourself as much as possible.
Why?
Master said.
That makes sense. I'm down. I'm with it.
Just, I do
Alright,
it normally, but
Alright, move me.
Something normal about that, my guy.
yeah. So normal,
Yeah,
rub myself with
get
dirt
on-
everywhere
yeah.
and just sit there and meditate. Wait for
Or just like
things to
I'm
happen.
gonna shrug.
wiggle around in the dirt.
Try and like more so this time than I usually do, just to like cover myself and all that kind of stuff.
But I'll go ahead and do
In
it just
any
because,
sense of that, like I don't even care if it means nothing. Just that's what he thinks he's doing.
I get it. I'm picturing Predator style, right?
Yeah.
You're covering yourself in mud so you don't get seen,
Yeah.
smelled,
Right.
sensed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More
And
so than I usually would.
You're following suit. It might not be what your normal thing is, but you're definitely doing it now.
Just wiggle around in the
Oh, and
dirt.
just FYI, I don't have plate. I just realized I wear scale mail, so I have.
Oh, I meant
so it
scale
doesn't-
even.
Yeah, because I don't like to get rid of my maneuverability.
Flexibility, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you're still dexterous but heavy.
Right.
All right. Piece of cake.
Just want to put that out there.
I would say that you guys sit there for about 15 minutes, which isn't a long time, and for every so often you break out into a debate again about where should we stand? Are you sure you should be bait? Should you get more dirt on you and roll around a little bit more? Are you doing this right? And then there's this 5-minute lull where you're all sitting there thinking, is this even the right place? And that's when you hear it. You hear something tearing itself through the grass, the very sound that you made as a group walking, but now it sounds like a lot more. And that could be size, it could be quantity, but you know what direction. It's coming from this direction. And I'm not sure who sees it first.
I have a passive insight of 14, so if anybody can beat that, I'll.
You know what? Can I retcon a little bit, just a little bit?
Yep.
Instead of like meditating the whole time, can I ritual cast speak with animals?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, because I can do the same thing, but I'll let you have that one.
Do you need tissue? I just
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm
So
like
what-
tearing up this lemon. I'm sure it's like not helping.
Oh no, you're good. It's
I
really
just
not
really
much
like the
work.
smell of lemons.
Oh well, you should have eaten the whole thing. Then it would be there for a very long time.
Yeah.
She said she just didn't have it in her.
Sorry. How many subscribers do you have then?
Or follow.
Or followers, sorry.
We have 98.
Wow, nice.
So 98. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Hey,
Is this from the lemon?
hey,
Tell
just
your friends
yeah,
to
I'm pretty
follow.
follow us.
Just 2 follows.
Just 2 follows and we get that big hundo.
I'll leave the rest
boy.
of this lemon if we get 2 more followers.
Now. Let's not be crazy.
Honestly, I'll do the cinnamon challenge again.
No, hold on. You know what? Here, I'll do the cinnamon challenge so he doesn't have to. Oh, well, I was trying to help you out. Okay, my bad.
God, hello?
No bull, right?
As long as nobody's doing the milk challenge, we're fine.
What's
I'm
the
not
milk
doing that.
challenge? Okay, never
I
mind.
might press intolerant.
Drinking a
so-
gallon, a whole gallon of milk, it's just bad.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what? Eat a pound of cheese. Just
Oh.
skip the middleman and eat a pound of cheese.
No,
That's
Yeah.
like just as bad for anybody who's lactose intolerant.
Yeah, but at least it'll taste better.
Yeah.
Now, almond milk. Dude, I could do the milk challenge with
Oh.
almond
No,
milk.
almond.
Chocolate almond milk.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the best.
Well,
I love it. Like, gargle, gargle,
Yep.
gargle, gargle, gargle.
I'm down for that.
So, all of you are looking in the direction of the sound. All of you see this bear, who's giant and has a massive six-pack, come jumping down, boom, right into his pit.
I felt that.
And he starts heading in the direction,
Look at that grass.
and then he stops right there, and he raises his head up, and he smells just a little bit. And now we have to roll initiative.
Alright, roll initiative. Yes, the battle I've been waiting for.
Do you add anything to initiative? I can't remember.
Dex.
Dex.
Oh, that's not. That was not better.
That is 18.
15.
11.
I want to re-roll that one.
You're fine.
All right. You got one less than what you did last time.
Alright, so that's 12, 13. I got 14. What was it, 15? Because I got to add my strength, right?
No.
Oh,
25 to 20.
Nope. No one.
Cool. 15 to 20.
No, yeah, 18.
18 and
15.
18 and 15.
Whatever.
Ava was the 18, right?
Yep.
Gary was the 15. 10 to 15.
12.
11.
12 for Samash.
Smosh.
Samash.
You know the dex.
And 11 from
Oh, you got a -1.
Kel. Let me make sure I'm looking at the right thing here.
Yeah!
Yeah!
One
99.
more!
99.
Alright, we just need one more and I'll do something. I'll do a crazy challenge.
We'll have you roll a d20 and you'll do whatever that is.
Yeah, alright, I'll roll the d20.
You're gonna do that.
Bye, Ugly Kiwi. Have a good night.
Bye, thank you for joining us.
Bye, beautiful Kiwi.
Woo! Woo!
Looking for one more. One more.
One more.
One more.
Thanks for remember you.
Thanks for
Even
the one so
great. Just like you, even better. I've been singing all
I
the
love
emo
that band.
jams today. I guess it's morning now.
Fix your hair.
What's wrong with it?
Under your glasses. Or it's like over, under. You're under, over.
It's called fashion, baby.
Is that right, you?
What do you want, Grant?
Hey, Grant.
You checking on your babies?
Do you want to sing Fall Out Boy with us?
No.
Yes.
Even though they weren't so great, it tastes like you, even sweeter. Wait, what were we were playing Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah, we were fighting a bear with a six-pack.
Oh,
What?
we just got copyright strikes.
No, you can sing somebody else's song. You just can't play it.
Got it.
The algorithm
Us
won't.
singing it.
Trust me, the algorithm won't pick up what you just did.
What do you mean?
How
I
could it
don't
not? That
sound
was like
just
a
like Patrick
flawless
Stump.
recreation.
Basically, like a CD played it. Yep.
Yeah. My babies are doing great. They're they're like college aged.
Yeah.
They're moving out.
Right about now is when you hope that you got that Florida prepaid for them.
What's that?
Yeah, right, exactly. That's what I said. It's that thing you're supposed to do right when you have babies so that by the time they're college aged, you can just hand them a college fund.
Oh no, I only have 24 hours with these guys. I didn't have that much foresight.
Oh.
I certainly am not even a Florida citizen. I don't have a Florida driver's license.
See?
I do.
Well,
Oh, look at you.
I guess they're going to community college,
I don't have any connection
which, by the way, is what I think you should do.
to it. Should you get what?
Community college is a great place to start and get your AA while you're on your way towards a bachelor's.
Yo, community
You're right.
college?
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm a big
No.
fan.
Yeah.
That's where I got mine. I mean, after not making it through Florida State. You should have seen all the beer I drank, though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I basically got a bachelor's in beer.
You know, while
You mean
being
to-
of
you mean
age,
toxology.
of course.
Toxology.
Oh, yeah. That's funny. Drinking of age.
Oh, yeah, I was totally 21.
Yes.
Maybe that was so long ago you only had to be 18, I forget.
Whatever
would-
the age was, that's what he was.
Yeah, it was exactly legal
Whatever
and
was-
correct.
Whatever was legally allowed.
because I don't break the
I
laws.
was doing that. Bear with a six-pack.
This very large bear-looking creature rolled a 20.
Oh. Okay.
Tell it not to do that.
He'll be well. I tried to make him roll with disadvantage, but then didn't.
Wait,
Wait,
did we not
what
get
if-
anything like additional for like sneak attack? Or was that you rolling disadvantage?
I think it noticed.
It's perception, smell.
Yeah.
view.
Bear with a six-pack.
That's ridiculous.
You're
He's
ridiculous.
tough. He's mean. However, that doesn't mean he sees where you are, so he doesn't necessarily know who to attack and where. He's just alerted to the fact that enemies may be nearby. And because of that, and because of him not knowing exactly which direction to go, he uses, let's see, he's got... Oh, sorry, Hattie Poop. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And he's holding an action.
You can prevent wild.
He's holding an action. If he sees anybody that comes within melee range, he will attack.
Okay.
Okay.
Normally, he wouldn't tell you that, but I would. I wouldn't want you to be caught off guard.
The bear's all like, don't get 5 feet in front of me or I'm gonna attack you.
Hey guys, if anybody's here, I'm just giving you a heads up. I will hurt you.
This is actually not a bad bear.
And don't forget attack of opportunity. Ava, first to act in whatever way you want.
Should I attack it?
No, wait till it gets a little closer.
I mean,
I mean, I have ranged attacks.
Do whatever you think
Yeah.
you would do.
I know, but you conjured talk to animals or whatever, so like,
Yeah.
is this kind of loud? Is this metagaming? I'm sorry.
A little bit.
But, no, but I'm just saying, like,
I mean, I have it up. That doesn't mean that's what we're gonna do, but I have it up.
We're 19 and a half hours into a 24-hour stream. I'm not sure if we're going to call metagaming anymore. We're just going to blow through this. So.
okay, I'll do chill touch. I'll cast chill touch.
oh man.
What's the range on that? Isn't it like 30 feet?
It is 120 feet.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I was way off. Great.
Nice.
I play D&D sometimes, you know. D20.
20. Would you walk us through the way it looks when you cast this? What's the flavor?
Flavor it. Flavor it.
Flavor it. Okay, so it's supposed to look like a skeleton like hand or whatever. So like, I think it would be funny. Okay, so I always imagine it as like choking the thing, but like I think it'd be funny if it just instead just like taps on like the hand taps on like the back of their shoulder, like, and then that's how it does the
He looks
damage.
around.
Yeah. That's just how it does
Chill
damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's hilarious.
So, let's see.
I rolled an 18.
And you have the components that you need? Nope, sorry. You don't need either.
Okay.
You don't have a thing you need. Yeah, that hits. Go ahead and roll your
This one
D8.
takes 1d8. I need to get it out first. 8!
Dang.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cold right now.
And frosty.
Wait, and bears hibernate. So, I don't know.
It's gonna pass out.
So now it's cold.
Now it's just really hungry actually.
Oh, dude, I'm so tired now.
Yeah, it's like this time for a nap.
Good. That means it'll be
I play alone.
kill.
So I'm happy letting that play out in my head because I like the way it looks. You cast the skeletal hand. It appears just behind the bear, and you watch as the hand comes up behind it and taps on the shoulder, and right when the taps occur, the bear cringes in pain and takes a substantial amount of damage all in one little poke. And that completes your your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. That takes us to Gary.
Okay. What do I want to do?
Say it all the time.
I should try to charm it just cause. I feel like that's the most ideal You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna try and charm it. I don't care. Like, I don't know if it's, you know, a bear / human, so that would be a humanoid. So I'm just gonna try. I'm gonna pull out Gnome Wrecker, and I'm gonna play. Wait. Oh, its range is 30 feet.
Well,
oh crap.
It could, theoretically, it could be a werebear. So,
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Dang it! Maybe not. Wait. Wait, no, it would take an action to, like, do double.
Yeah,
Right.
there'd be the dash would be your action. Now that you've mapped it out, you can pull back. It's not like chess
Yeah.
because you took your finger off.
Yeah, I won't do that, but what I'll do is...
inspire us.
I don't have any of that. Thunderwave. You know what? I'm just gonna walk up to it. Screw it. 5, 10, 15.
So you gotta use your dash?
Well, no. I'm just gonna get closer to it so I can do something.
Okay.
And from this point, you'd say probably that you want to hold an action, and then you'd specify what is the trigger for that action.
Okay, so if the bear were to get into range, like between 30 feet, I would charm it. Is that a possibility?
Yeah. So if the bear comes in range, you're
Yeah.
going to use the spell
I'm
charm
gonna just start
person.
charm person.
Okay.
Doesn't work. Doesn't work.
All right, we got you. We know what Gary is going to do if he gets the chance. Samash, you're up next.
All right.
What are you going to Samash?
I'm gonna jump out. Actually, could somebody be so kind of I can move myself? It don't matter. Move it close to Gary Gnome, because you know what? Even though he gets on my last nerve, I don't want nothing to
Like right
happen
here?
to the man. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll hold the action if he comes within range. I think I'm gonna use my breath weapon.
This is gonna be a
What's the
very
range of your breath weapon?
My
15 or
range-
30?
No, it's 30 feet actually.
30.
Right?
So if he come, both of you are now triggered, and both of you have a 30-foot range for your trigger.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, good call, good call, good call. Cabin.
I'm gonna run out, and I'm gonna run out this way. I have 30 movement, so 185.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Yeah, and then I will cast Ray of Sickness on the bear. And that will, God. 14.
So that would hit this based on armor class, but I'm going to need your expertise to help me. Do we need to worry about the people between you and the bear when you cast that?
I mean, even so, I can just move over and cast it. instead
So
of going that
it
far
is
right.
something you have enough specific aim with that you could shoot between two people without a problem?
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll just make that happen. That's a hit.
Okay. It needs to make a Constitution saving throw. That's not easy.
Oh. Ooh. 5 plus 3. Looks like a fail.
So it is poisoned until the end of my next turn.
Okay.
How much damage does he take for poison?
13. It takes 13 poison damage and is poisoned until the end of my next turn.
Does it roll again at that point, or does it end at that point?
It just ends.
Okay, so the effect ends in one turn, the end of this turn.
Yes.
And poisoned, of course, for those of you following along at home without a disadvantage for all attack and ability checks.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh,
Okay,
that's good.
that's going to make them easier to kill, huh?
Right.
All right, back up to the bear, who's now feeling a little woozy, maybe ill, maybe he ate some bad people last night. It's hard to tell. Not feeling so good. So he's definitely going to see now these invaders in his home, and he's going to do what most bears would do: attack. And I would say that from the distance that you guys are now, it's a lot easier to see why people are confusing this with a monster. Because this bear is not like a normal bear, but it still seems like a bear. But there's been some changes. The modifications might have been genetic and occurring naturally. Maybe it's the result of a magical spell, but something about this bear has been enhanced. So you're dealing with something that's a little bit nastier than the standard bear that you might have dealt with normally. You know that. And
Enhanced super bear.
enhanced super bear. And he is going to take his movement, which will enter both of your 30-foot ranges. I'll bring him to a stop and let you do your thing before he completes his move.
Okay. All right. You want to do a charm first?
10,
before I do
15,
the,
20,
before I do the-
25, 30, 35. He's right within range of both of you, and the you get to do your triggered spells first.
Okay. I must make a wisdom saving throw, and I guess. Do I roll something? I don't remember.
He says we
For charm person?
Yeah, sure, person.
This is gonna. I mean, it fails, is all.
Oh.
Yep. He doesn't fall into the category of
dang it.
things that you're trying to do. But you kind of knew it was a long shot.
Yeah.
You were hoping it would be a way to make this work out. But that particular direction didn't pan out for you.
My serenation didn't work.
All right.
But it did make everybody around you pretty happy, except the bear. You've got something a little more insidious in mind?
Yes, I'm gonna use my breath weapon, even though he's gonna get the full blast of this.
Right in his face.
Yep, right in his face.
100 followers!
Yeah!
Triple digits!
Nice.
Who pushed us over the top?
Sean FT6.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Sean.
We appreciate the hookup.
All right, I'll roll my. I'm going.
No, for the challenge.
Oh, for the challenge. All right, fine.
Yeah.
All right, this is rolling for the challenge. All right.
Okay.
12.
All right, here it comes. We've heard 12 a few times tonight. Which one was that? Oh. Make up a song about the DM.
Yeah. I had to do this earlier.
Oh, hold on, I don't even know.
You wanna join us?
Here's a song about Jason Gillette. All I know is he's really get. My man Jason, he's really fly. I love playing D&D with him all the time.
All the time.
Wooka, wooka, wooka.
That was fire.
Thank you very much. Yep, fuego.
When is your single coming out?
Well, you can get the mixtape right now.
Okay, I gotcha.
Another follower. Yeah.
101?
Uh-huh.
Crazy.
And now we're hitting 101?
Yep.
Nice.
Reformer.
All right, go ahead and roll
Performance
for
today
the
on an episode of the
attack.
Adventure Zone.
What?
I want to know what that means and tell me every detail.
Oh, what? Say again?
Our 101st follower said they were on the Adventure Zone, an episode of the Adventure Zone.
Oh, wow.
How?
Yeah, how? I'm trying to remember when the
Yeah,
guest
they've
came
never
on.
had guests.
Maybe it was one of their live.
Yeah.
Nice,
We have
alright.
102 followers.
Yeah! We doing it! We in this thing! Alright, now it's time for me to do my White Lightning!
White lightning.
15, 16, 17, 18.
Hits like a boss.
Nice. You gotta roll a deck save.
Ooh.
Is this a cone or is this a line? Which one
Line.
is this? That's what I was thinking.
It's a 17, but I might be subtracting. Nope, adding 18.
Ooh. Oh, you won that one.
So I take half damage, or?
Yep, you take half damage. But I'm still rolling 2d6s. Let them be high, please.
6 and 3. That's
9.
above average.
That's 9, so half.
4.
4.
I got to do the round down. All right, 4 points of damage, and I will say also that it's good to make sure we're picturing what this looks like. This giant blue dragonborn
Another one.
exhales a massive
Hold on,
cone.
I'll flavor this one up.
Thank you.
Alright. So here it is, this huge bear in front of me. All you see is eyes, flaring up, and all you see is the mouth open. all in the bear's face, but he only takes half damage. I think the bear, slightly moves out the way so he doesn't get the full blast, but it's kind of like it got him like halfway in his face, so all of this is burnt. So
yeah, you've created a two-faced character where you've got this horrible scarring and burn on one side, and you can almost see the tendons and stuff underneath the skin, and the other side seems untouched.
Yes.
And so you've damaged the bear, and you've also severely pissed him off. So
Have fun with that.
that was both of your reactions, and so the bear now gets to take his multi-attack. He's going to take 2 attacks, and it's going to be 1 for each of the people in front of him.
With disadvantage.
With disadvantage. Woo! With disadvantage. I'd forgotten about the disadvantage. Make sure I'm doing this right.
What are you typing over there, girl?
He's doing bite on you and claws on you. So the bite attack is going to be +5. 1 + 5. Does a 6 hit?
yeah, it misses. It misses.
You see this gnarly bear with half of a burnt face and some tendons exposed go and chomp at you, and it doesn't take much for you to sideswipe that bite and almost be like, okay.
Lean with it, rock with it. Lean with it.
And that infuriates him. Maybe it's the dancing. And he bellow roars and swipes with his claws at Gary. And that's a +5 to that. 10 + 5. Does a 15 hit?
Yes.
All right. So now I'm going to roll that
Listen,
damage.
I tried to help you out. That was a little
Oh, no. I didn't roll my disadvantage on that.
Oh, you
you
did?
got away without even rolling disadvantage. So let me roll
okay.
again.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, he still got it, so I don't know what
he's,
Okay, that time was a 2. You take no damage.
Yeah!
You just like right over my head.
I forgot that with the flavoring, it's probably that he's so ill, he's over swinging, and he's not healthy enough to be able to take the normal attacks. This bear's been attacking people right and left for about 10 days now, and this is the first time he's felt this way, and he's just not quite doing what he's used to
And then
doing.
on
You got a big old tummy ache right there.
Not
got a
feeling
huge
so good.
tummy ache and a facial burn. So.
So that completes his action, both of his attacks and his entire movement, and takes us all the way to Ava.
I would cast
Let's see. What do I want to do? I guess I'll just do chill touch again. Because I'm blind. And it's cantrip, so I can. That's a 6. I'm gonna guess that fails.
It's a 6, so you're not adding anything? Yeah, that fails.
Wait. What do I add?
Whoa, wait.
Charisma, right?
For
No.
what? For what?
For spell.
Yeah, charisma. What are you? Wait,
It's an
what are
8.
you?
And have you used your bear-related reroll yet?
I don't think she did.
Yeah,
Did she?
for the
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah,
did.
for
I'm not
the,
gonna cheat.
yeah.
I did to check to see if it was a den.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yep, you sure did. Okay, that misses.
Yeah.
And that's just the way that goes. You have movement left if you want to take it, but obviously you don't have to.
I would stay where you are.
Yeah. I like where I am in the bushes.
Okay, you got a good down angle too. You're looking. The bear's head comes up to about the top of the hole, and so you're looking at about bear head level and down. So you've got good angle on him. You're pulling a. You've got the high ground.
Okay.
In other words, you sniper
It's over,
spelling.
Anakin.
You're sniper spelling right now.
I couldn't tell if I was going to make an Anakin reference or a Fortnite reference, but in either case, you've got the high ground. Yeah, obviously. All Anakin.
Obi-Wan was the one who said it. I mean it. But
Absolutely.
I'm just splitting hairs.
Absolutely. Unlike Obi, who was splitting legs.
I don't watch Star Wars.
you know, you just
I've never
let
seen
it go.
Star Wars.
Let it go, let it go.
I've never seen that movie either.
Okay.
When I run
Dang
into
it.
people that haven't seen that, I'm almost a little excited for them because it means that at some point, not anytime soon even, but at some point you have that entire experience just sitting there waiting for
To
you.
watch it for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about
You know what? I will
a lot of
make, I
people
will make that
haven't
time when we
read
can
Harry
watch
Potter,
it.
All right.
and
I'm
some
down.
people are
All
like,
right, we can
"Oh my
watch it.
god!" But for me, I'm like, "You are so lucky. It's just sitting there. One day you're going to say it's time, and it's just sitting there waiting for you, and you get to pick it up and read it fresh. I never get to do that again. I'm on my 15th read through, so I never get it fresh again.
That's how I feel about the Adventure Room. I'm so jealous of my best friend who gets to listen to it for the first time.
Start over, yeah.
Wish I were her.
All right, but back to the bear. Yeah, who's got Gary?
Gary.
So since charm didn't work, it's time to chop. So I will attack him with Gnome Record.
Yeah.
Every time I say no,
You know what?
It's
Hey, look.
Oh.
I almost want to play. Like, you know, some of like some music.
Slayer?
Yeah.
Some Slayer?
What would
Kind of like.
do you remember? So there's the proficiency bonus, but what's the attribute that I add to it? Is it strength or dex?
Honestly, I can't remember.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? And I left my book in the car.
What's the question?
Let's just go with Dex right now.
Dex.
Whatever you add with the
Okay.
hand axe.
So
Is it Dex or Strength?
I think
Strength. I mean, I'm just making that one up, but it seems to me like strength over. That doesn't
Yeah.
seem like much finesse there.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
chopping wood.
Unless he was trying to, you know, do something like if he was flavoring it, like, you know, do something cool with it.
Yeah, sure.
You may get to pick. How about if we just let you pick? Because we're getting
Okay,
towards
just
the end
for
of our.
Dex.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and look, because he got that
time.
advantage. He got
11.
he got that
11 to
advantage.
hit.
Oh my gosh, that just barely made it.
Hey.
Just barely made it. You
I mean,
somehow
it-
broke through that AC.
It's a big ass bear.
And look, and
A lot of surface
hold on,
area.
hold on. And he's small, so he found a little divot in between the armor.
Right in between the six-pack level. Right in there between beer number 3 and 4.
Right where the
Added
8-pack is
D4
starting
for
to
that
show.
Right, you know, like,
From that inspiration.
oh, I see it.
Of damage?
Yep. One
Look at that.
D6, and then a 2.
Nice. Let me do some math real quick.
Math.
You should have just been charmed. I mean, if he was charmed, then he
Nice.
wouldn't be taken.
This bear is now bloodied.
Yeah.
He has taken a substantial amount of damage, and that's just what's happening. Smash.
Shamash.
It would be like
I'm
this.
going. Yeah, I know, right? So of course I'm taking my battle axe. You know, I'm still got the, you know, things, even though I can't use it not until after a long rest. But you know, all you see is, you know, mouth glowing but not doing nothing. 18, 19, 20, 21.
Hit long ago. You hit
21.
without modifiers. You hit.
Oh no. Dang it. Sorry, I couldn't see what that was.
Is it a? What's the
Oh,
axe
I'm
damage?
Oh, 1d8. Oh, no wonder. I'm all wrong. 1d8. Yeah.
Plus something? Plus 2?
3.
Plus 3.
Okay.
Whoa!
8, 9, 10, 11.
You got max damage on that?
Yeah, you got max damage on that.
Hold on.
Could you describe the way that you fell this bear?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I gotta do something where Joe is proud, so. You know, he's all bloodied up. I was like, "Ah!" Down. I kind of did like a Zorro. I cut across the neck, cut across the side, cut across, and then go over. So it's actually a figure 8.
Yeah.
And then just watch it fall to pieces. But it's hard. Like.
You did that so artfully that you may, in the future, name that maneuver the hourglass.
Yes.
Because you carved that right into his chest, and yeah, lopped him into pieces. In front of you guys is now the steamy carcass of a very dead bear. The fact that your foe is dead and you guys are down here in the foundation means that you haven't had a chance to go around and look very well through this area. So we'll pick this up at our Wednesday night game at Campus Cards, and we'll have you do your looting and then go back and get your reward afterwards. But for now, big round of applause for killing the bear of the grasslands.
Yeah! Woo!